We seem to have everyone. Status reports.
Internal security remains solid. I've caught 2 Republic spies since Ossus. Both were disguised as cargo pilots seeking work. Unfortunately, they fled before they could be caught and interrogated about their specific objectives.
It's good to know we're still so popular.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
My assets have brought in solid intel from all of the major battles along the front lines. I'll keep forwarding everything to Baywan for analysis.
My people are using that intel to create new write-ups for the major field commanders on both sides. Should help us predict strategic probabilities going forward. Until we get a specific request for aid, I've deployed our fleet in a defensive posture around Odessan. There's, one other matter we should discuss, now that you're aligned with the Empire again. We've accomplished a lot here. I'm proud to have worked under your command. We've made the galaxy a better place. But I'm also proud of my past. I served the Republic for years. I can't fight them, so I'm retiring. I've recommended a replacement, Commodore Pardax. Ex-Imperial. Very sharp. She'll serve you well. Lana's already vetted her, and I'll stick around long enough to get her up to speed.
You've been a huge help to our alliance, Baywan. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you for taking a chance on me.
Nothing so dramatic occurring in our science lab. Improvements to Odessan's planetary shields have been successfully completed.
All right. Hilo?
We've had to step up security for my crews. Piracy is becoming a bigger problem on their runs. Lucky for us, you're friends with Mandalore. Now that word's spread that her people are riding along, nobody messes with our transports.
Good to hear. Anything else?
Me and the crew have been running one of the old Thranta corvettes. We're patrolling the route between here and Zakul. It's bad over there. Some of the city spires have closed themselves off completely. Others are actually taking shots at each other. And those gangsters from the exchange? They're moving in all over the place. Nearly half the provisional government is tied to them somehow. I know they want to go their own way. But Zakul is my home. It's home for a lot of our people. I think we should try to help.
No way.
How do you think we could help them?
The most important thing is to get the exchange out of there. The Knights are practically non-existent now. There's no law. I know it's not our place to go after them on Zakul, so let's go after them before they get there. Give me 3 extra ships, and we'll intercept any exchange members we find headed for Zakul. Without any muscle or bribes to back them up, they'll crumble.
Sounds like a good plan. The ships are yours, Koth.
Thank you. Gonna enjoy taking those scumbags down.
Sana Ray is touring the reconstruction efforts on Voss, so I believe we're finished.
I'd like to say a few words before we end the meeting.
Yes, Commander?
I want to thank you all for standing by me. We have survived so much, overcome so much. That was only possible because of all of you. The galaxy is as chaotic as ever, but if we stand by one another, we'll find our way through.
You can count on us. There was one final matter for you. Lord Izar, a representative of the Imperial Outreach Division, has asked to speak with you. I've loaded his frequency into your holocom.
Thought we could use a moment alone. I have to admit it's weird fighting against the Republic. Probably should have seen a day like this coming. Somehow I just never did. I get it. They've never once had your back over the years. Suresh brought out the worst in them. Even so, I need to know you're in this to win a war, not to crush my old home into dust.
We do only what's needed to win. I want security and prosperity for the Empire, not the total destruction of the Republic.
Then we're on the same page. I'm glad we could talk. I'll catch you later.
Interesting. So I think we're actually about to start Onslaught instead of patch Onslaught. If I'm remembering correctly. It's kind of hard to keep track of all this crap. By the way, ping to you, Flygand. Good morning, Blade Taval, Caspian Hazardous, Watsam, Ect, Zisteroth, Warp Core Loner, Random Email, Latario Red2, Magister is up.
Greetings, Commander. So good of you to contact me.
How can I help you exactly?
I serve within the Imperial Outreach Division. Specifically, I seek out opportunities to inspire greatness among our noble frontline soldiers. Darth Krovos is giving a speech to our forces gathered at Viken Space Dock in preparation for their deployment. This could be an opportunity to say a few words of your own. Your actions have made you a living legend, after all. Certainty of victory inspires confidence. Hearing that you are out there fighting the same fight they are will undoubtedly instill that confidence in our troops.
What do you want me to say exactly?
Tell them your story. Tell them how your love of the Empire has inspired you. Above all, tell them they will win. We shall await your arrival with bated breath. Safe travels.
NRO2, did you set up this speech to the troops on Viken Space Dock?
No, but Lord Izar is correct in his assessment. This is an excellent opportunity to inspire confidence in the Empire's troops. Inspired troops are capable of fighting at capacities near 83% above baseline. Speak well and victory will follow.
Sure. Hi, pancakes. I was eating you yesterday. Like, just the most ridiculous pancakes, too. I guess that's on the fleet. Okay, sure. To the fleet. I mean, hang on, let me look up the specifics, because it was just ridiculous. Can't think of the name of the restaurant. I took Dad there for breakfast. So it would have been up here. There it is. Okay, where's your menu? Okay, menu. I had an Eggs Blackstone Benedict. That was quite good. Okay, here we go. So, they've got bourbon, rum butter, pecan-infused pancakes. They've got carrot, raisin, walnut cakes. They've got lemon, blueberry, goat cheese pancakes. Strawberry pound cake French toast. And, of course, one of my personal favorite, apple fritter French toast. I know that's not a pancake, it's French toast, but we all know French toast is better than pancakes anyway, so. If it's the one I think it is, which involves me being in it, Flaghand, then yes, I have seen it.
Perfect timing, Commander. Darth Krovos is just finishing up. Follow me.
I didn't actually order that, I just had some of the spare.
I can sense the strength in each and every one of you. The passion for victory, and the power to achieve it.
Blah, blah, blah.
At the muzzles of your blasters, at the points of your blades, our ancient enemies shall finally be destroyed.
That's not...
For the Empire!
You cook it into the mix, Slaughter.
We meet again? It's a pity Zasha couldn't be here to see this day.
What is wrong with your eyes?
Alliance fighting alongside the Empire, victory is within our grasp.
Congratulations on joining the Dark Council.
Thank you. I hope to serve our Empire as ably as you have. They're all yours.
We are setting out to fight the same war we've fought many times before. But the outcome will be different, because we are different. Like the most powerful predators, the Empire has grown, evolved, learned. We are not the same Empire our enemies faced in the past. No longer do we ignore the strength of those who aren't human or Sith. No longer do we ignore the wisdom of those without the Force. The Empire held itself back before, but no longer. Now, the Republic will face the true strength of the Empire. Now, they will face you.
To your ships!
I sure hope not, Loner, because if that's true, then the dictionary is wrong. I just checked.
An interesting speech, Commander. I'm not sure.
I am quite sure. It was a powerful speech, one all the Empire should have heard.
I appreciate your time, Commander. I look forward to working with you again someday soon.
Oh, nice. Play to all.
Effectively ripped up their fervor for victory, Commander. Excellent work.
Blah, blah, blah. Alright, let's go conquer everything. Let's... Oh, excuse me. That was actually the final patching. So now, hypothetically, we might actually be starting Onslaught. And yes, I saw that Sean's ship is in the trailer, Flag End. A lot of people are understandably excited about that. I'm worried. But going into why would take a minute. Okay, Onslaught. Oh, right. Hang on. Let's get the big dramatic music that I absolutely can't play going. Oh my god. War consumes the galaxy. Hungering for dominance, the ruthless Sith Empire fights to destroy their ancient enemies in the Galactic Republic. I'm already regretting choosing the Empire, but, I mean, it's not like the Republic's any better. Assembling an overwhelming fleet of the Empire's most powerful warships, Darth Malgus sets out to obliterate... Is this vanilla? Did we reset the run? Is this a brand new character? Sets out to obliterate a new and highly advanced Republic shipyard on the planet Corellia. Now desperate to prevent this catastrophe, the Republic rushes to gather the forces necessary to defend this vital facility, one that can finally turn the tide of the war. Seriously, is this just vanilla again? God damn, I know they wanted to status quo that, but that is a hard status quo reset. Ugh. Sorry, I don't mean to sound but ugh. Yeah, time to play the older Republic. I like vanilla, I already played vanilla, Warp Core. Also, vanilla WoW sucks. I'm just gonna say that. Just like vanilla Guild Wars 2 sucks.
Overlord scanning for hostiles now.
You're under attack, dude, are you not? Okay, whatever.
Not today, scum. Escort 1 to Overlord. Spring the trap. We have you now.
Not unless you have interdiction technology.
Target locked.
Okay, let's do something a little more fancy for something like this.
They're running for their lives.
Kill them! Wait. Why are we killing them again?
This one is mine.
What? Why? Why? Why?
Target destroyed.
Another kill, and another step closer to victory. Let's regroup.
Hold up.
Commander,
Malgus.
your assistance with the 38th Fleet's operations has been exemplary. But I am now recalling them for a special assignment. Empress Asina invites you to join a special meeting of the Dark Council aboard Viken's space dock. We will discuss the details of the operation there. I am told the Council looks forward to hearing your voice among them once more.
The last time I joined a meeting of the Dark Council, I killed one of them.
All the more reason to respect you. We await your arrival.
Well, you see, Crazy Norse, somehow Malgus returned. And if you want more of an explanation than that, it doesn't exist yet. Hi, Dark Day. You have chosen an interesting time to join the stream. What in the world?
Meridian complex. A state-of-the-art Republic shipyard.
Who are you?
It nears completion on the planet Corellia. My spies report that it can produce ships faster than any of our shipyards and at half the energy cost.
That hardly seems possible.
Who are you?
Based on the technical readouts Zarian has acquired, I assure you it is entirely possible. Perhaps it is even a conservative estimate.
Malgus, Krovos, your plan for destroying this facility?
By securing our frontline positions and withdrawing all but the most crucial warships, we have formed an assault armada of unrivaled size and power.
Under our command, this mighty fleet will burn the Republic's new shipyard to ash and destroy any hope of victory that might remain among their people.
Committing so many ships is dangerous. What if the Republic has their own fleet ready and waiting for you?
You will ensure that they do not.
We have gathered enough fuel ships to carry our fleet to Corellia without stopping. Our enemies are in no such position. The Republic will scramble reinforcements from all corners of the galaxy. Wherever they stop to resupply, we must disable or destroy them.
We have already identified one likely refueling point for the Republic ships. The planet Onderon.
Conveniently, I am already engaged in operations to undermine Republic control of that planet. However, my forces are meager, to say the least. But with the aid of the Alliance and its commander, I am confident that I can successfully delay any Republic reinforcements that pass by.
Your predecessor wasn't the most focused ally. I hope you do better.
I'm confident that we'll work well together.
Excellent. Keep your spies in place, Sharian. We must know everything about the shipyard and its defenses. Anathel, Varon, be ready to provide any assistance that Malgus or Krovos should request. This operation is the Empire's top priority.
Understood.
My logistical networks are entirely at their disposal, Empress.
Then this meeting is complete.
Interesting outfit for Valron there. Everyone bows. I do not bow. I do not serve you. And I could kill you in a heartbeat, so don't push me. So... That's amusing, Shadow Machine.
Commander, fancy meeting you here.
Major Henry, are you joining the mission on Onderon?
Nah, I pulled Darth Baron's operation this time. We're headed for some mined-out rock called Mek-Sha, but word is we might catch up groundside on Corellia.
Alert!
I've missed you since Ossus. How have you been?
Same old, same old. Fly here, blow up that, sneak into this, kill everyone. You know the drill. To tell the truth, once you've fought with the best, everything else just seems a bit dull. Know what I mean?
Major Henry, I need to speak with the commander. Alone.
Of course, my lord. Please excuse me. Until next time, Commander.
I was gonna say, we're ahead of state, so yeah, Blade.
As Sith, it is our nature to seek our own advancement.
I'm not a Sith.
The Dark Council may have changed, but that drive remains. Victory on Corellia benefits us all. It advances us all. Should Lord Savick or any other council member forget their priorities in my absence, the Empress grants you leave to remind them.
They will not forget their duty to the Empire on my watch.
Good. Lord Savick awaits you. Farewell, Commander.
Oh, we're gonna kill the crap out of them. Like, just all of them.
Come in, Lana. Our objective is Onderon. Take everyone we can spare. You'll be briefed on arrival.
Understood. We'll depart for Onderon at once.
The reason I say it's an interesting time to pop in, Dark Day, is because we have just...
All better.
2 out of 10, Ronan. We've just, like, hit what I can only refer to as the biggest slam-in-the-face reset button I've seen in this entire game. I'm, having trouble keeping up. Like, why would we ever be piloting a starfighter in such a small-scale operation? I know we're just a smuggler, but even then we're still a head of state smuggler as part of a separate organization. Like, what the heck? I'm confused by that. Well, let's hit Onderon, see what's going on down here. And thank you,
Welcome to
Glitchwell.
Onderon. This is the Royal Hunting Lodge of King Petrith, the current ruler of the planet.
Onderon has been a Republic planet for centuries. Not that Petrith cares, he just wants to sell his planet's resources to anyone willing to pay.
Which is where the Empire comes in.
Exactly. Petrith's greed makes him an easy target for Savick to manipulate. But his nobles aren't playing along.
Petrith may have the throne, but the nobles have control of the capital city and day-to-day operations. If they learn of his Imperial ties, he could be deposed.
And what of the Republic fleet we're meant to destroy?
Still gathering in orbit. They're preparing for refueling and resupply operations.
Savick doesn't have the resources to attack the fleet head-on, so we're pretty sure she's gonna trick Petrith into doing it for her.
What are your impressions of Darth Savick and King Petrith?
Savick is shrewd, capable. She clearly prefers to keep herself out of any direct combat. Petrith is a fool, but controllable. He'll be no challenge.
Ready to get started?
I wonder if we could sabotage the Empire at this point. Hey, E-Tree. But either way, Dark Day, welcome to the stream. As I like to say to everybody, don't be a stranger. If you want to lurk, you can. If you want to chat, you can. We're pretty cool around here. We chill. No, screw the Republic. I just kind of want both of them to die at this point. Hey, Dragon Center. And thank you, Maze. Always appreciate. If there was one, they didn't tell me about it, Crazy Norse. Yeah, I know. Canonically, the Republic keeps surviving for some reason. And don't tell me that it's because they're the good guys. Who shall rise as a new power? A stronger power. A better power. Listen, Warcourt, I just want to wipe out all life in the galaxy and consume it to become a god, okay? Is that so wrong? Oh, and by the way, I did get yours for Darkest Dungeon, Blade Taval, and I did get yours for Trails in the Sky, Mace. Thank you. Yeah, we did a KOTOR lore run 7 years ago? Oh my gosh, hang on. How long was that? Mute. What year was this? Why is it not giving me... There it is. It has been 7 years since we did the KOTOR lore run. Wow. Time flies. Yeah, I know, Crazy Norse. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. I heard. Which just... You know what that reminds me of? I'm going to stop and talk about this for a second. That reminds me of World of Warcraft. Because we all know that every time we discuss any MMO, we have to immediately talk about WoW. It's a rule. It's the WoW rule. WoW invented... Well, no, they didn't. WoW really pushed a concept they called borrowed power. Let's get this out of the way. Borrowed power sucks and is stupid. We've discussed a great deal about that during the FF14 run specifically. But the relevance is that it doesn't just apply in terms of gameplay mechanics, but in terms of narrative drive. So, what that means is, if you give the player something, either narratively or gameplay-wise, and then take it away, you're already starting at a negative. No matter what else you do, that's never going to feel good. Now you can, with care and effort and work, and very precise application of narrative and gameplay, you might be able to make that smoothed over, but you're already starting at a negative. You're starting downhill, right? So they gave us the Alliance. I know, in context. They gave us the Alliance. They gave us the third faction. They allowed us to be the hero to save the galaxy and focus on that, and that's cool and all. But, then they took all that away. And that is exactly the same vibe I've been getting from this entire sequence. It reminds me, and I'll use my personal favorite example as favorite. It reminds me of when they got rid of our artifacts. Because some of you... okay, so WoW invented a concept called, for those of you who don't know, invented a concept called artifacts. Artifacts were amazing. They were multipliers and mutators on gameplay style, and there were other little tidbits and quality of life features that made them very, very cool. But the point is, they were a huge, awesome feature of awesome, right? Cool. Then they got rid of them. Now, everybody knows that. Everybody talks about that. It's one of the most commonly discussed points when it comes to discussing borrowed power. But there was another angle to that not a lot of people really discussed. During Legion, which is the expansion which we had, the artifacts, we were also the head of an entire faction. Every single class had their own order, is what they called them. And each one was actually a historically based organization within the confines of the setting. There was the Knights of the Ebon Blade, there was the Silver Hand, the Paladins of the Silver Hand, and etc. And yeah, you get where I'm going with this. We didn't just lose the gameplay of the artifact, we lost the narrative of being a head of an order of like-minded people across factions, across species, who are all unified under the common banner of being a paladin, or being a mage, or whatever, in order to fight against the Legion. All that went away too. We went back to being a random grunt who had nothing to do with anything, and was fighting the other side because that's what the audience demanded. If this sounds familiar... And so you see why I'm being reminded of this right now. Yeah, thank God that the Alliance didn't improve gameplay, because otherwise it would be even worse. My gameplay hasn't changed in 50 levels. That's an exaggeration. But in several weeks of real time.
Now.
Like, we hit 80 weeks ago.
I was surprised to find you absent upon my return from the Senate, my king. Do you expect to visit the capital soon?
I will return when it suits me.
We have matters to discuss. When do you think it would suit you to return?
You overstep, Senator. It is your job to share my decisions with the Republic, not to question them. Do not bother me again! The nobles' meddling was bad enough without Nibet to stir them up further. This is intolerable. Am I not king? Do I not rule this world?
They clearly don't respect your power, dear king. And to send the senator back here. Perhaps the Republic believes you need more supervision, but you need not concern yourself. I have brought a powerful ally to ensure nothing comes of your enemy's plans. Allow me to introduce the Alliance Commander.
It's already clear that you stand apart from the greatest and wisest rulers in the galaxy. A truly special king.
Ah, yes, well, you're wise to see it so quickly. Welcome to my world. Nibet's provocations have utterly drained me. A hearty meal will aid in my recovery. Do enjoy your visit.
I just insulted him to his face and he didn't even catch it. That tells me all I need to know.
As you can see, the king all but eats from my hand. He is the key to our victory here. Onderon's capital is equipped with powerful defensive cannons that could easily destroy the Republic fleet in orbit. The cannons cannot be operated remotely, but if we spur the king into a civil war against his nobles, the distraction will suffice. We will infiltrate the capital amid the chaos of battle, seize control of the guns, and eradicate the Republic fleet before they even realize they're in danger.
Petrif is too stupid to be reliable. I doubt he can make this happen for us.
As long as we are here to guide him, he will do what's required. Petrif already suspects that his nobles are moving against him. We need to push that paranoia further. Through intermediaries, I have hired a band of mercenaries to infiltrate the hunting lodge and assassinate the king. Fortunately, you will swoop in to defeat these deadly attackers just in time. You will save the king, earn his trust, and push him further from his nobles all at once.
Simple enough. When do they arrive?
If my calculations are accurate, the mercenaries will arrive any moment now. I'll be happy to guide you to them over the comm. Good luck.
You know, if I can say one other thing, I liked Katit a lot, actually. But I think making us the Alliance Commander was actually a mistake. It's not like there aren't leaders who do things in Star Wars that's semi-common. Vader, of course, is one of the more common examples of that. But it's not that common for, you know, Tarkin to grab a blaster and charge down into the front lines. Oh, that's interesting. Don't even see a barrier there. To charge into the front lines and lead from the front, right? Which is exactly what we're doing. I know. Different classes, blah, blah, blah. That's just that old problem all over again. My point is, to once again compare this to WoW, in Warcraft, leading from the front is the norm. Because of the nature of how that setting works. Most of the people are warrior kings, not scholarly kings, right? So, it makes sense when Thrall is actually fighting a battle from the front lines, because all of WoW is effectively based on Warcraft 3, which is based on Warcraft 2, yada yada yada. But even ignoring the gameplay side of things, it fits the setting, right? That's just the culture that that planet has. Star Wars doesn't really have that. So yeah, Pancakes hits the nail on the head. We should have never really been the Alliance Commander. We should have been the Alliance Enforcer. We should have been the person who goes out and does things because, you know, duh, right? And that's true, Blade Cheval. But the problem, once again, boils down to the fact that everybody has to be smashed down into the exact same peg here.
Guards! Help! Intruders in the palace!
Oh, no.
Assassins! They'll never reach my safe room. Eliminate them.
You're good to go.
I guess games and goals, I hate using it. It is such a pain to use that I don't like to use it, so I usually don't even bother. But I suppose for larger groups I should start busting it out. Well, I hope you have a good day at work, Zekta. Yeah, Anduin should have been the scholarly king. You know, whatever. I don't even want to get into that topic, honestly. I am not super happy with what they've done to Anduin as a character over the years. Say, oh, here's some Gan Sky Troopers. Wow, Lord. Assassins. That being said, maybe I could... No, Jay Palmer. What they did was worse than that. Although they might do it to good effect. We'll see. We'll see. Let's just say that Anduin is going through some very serious PTSD right now. As well he should.
I can hear them outside the safe room. Save me!
Allow us to assist you, my king.
All better.
The assassins have control of the throne room. Find the security station.
So let's get this out of the way, Dr. Winter. The answer to your question is there's no living member of the nobility left. And since the Alliance doesn't recognize the dead as having any legal claims or rights, that gets rid of all them as an option. But there is one living person who is a member of a family who was very, very rich before the Third War. And I actually don't remember his name. He's a quest giver for the Alliance. And he's actually the most likely person to inherit it. There he is, Weldon Barov. Is most likely the last surviving member of the Barov family who also owned a decent chunk of, like, the whole Anderhall area. Because that's probably what's going to happen. They're going to establish a new nobility around the rich.
Still locked down. One moment. There is a backup terminal nearby. Disable it.
Okay.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Well, the problem is, as I mentioned earlier, the Warcraft setting in lore is only beginning to dip its toes into anything other than a dictatorship. Whether it's a monarchy, or it's a military dictatorship, or whatever. You know, there's a reason he's called the High King of the Alliance, right? Ironically, the only major organization that currently is not a dictatorship in Warcraft is the Horde.
King Petrif, we are en route to the throne room now.
Good. Stop them and you'll be rewarded.
Rewarded with what? What do you have for me, boy? The Horde is currently run by a council. A joint council. Consisting of representatives of each of the member races. Thank you, Dark Day, very much. Ignore the final boss music. I do appreciate that support. Thank you. If you want to put that towards something, please let me know. The dwarves are run by the Council of the Three Hammers. Which isn't a council, is the simplest and easiest way I could possibly explain that. Go watch the lore run. Sure. Dealer's choice is an option, Darky. I'll put that down here with dealer's choice. And thank you, Caspian. Always appreciate. I will jot that down for the Mario and Luigi blog. Yeah, the Council of the Three Hammers is actually... How do I explain this? It's like saying that the... It's a bad example. What Shadow Machine said is correct. So, the Council is a temporary measure that was put into place by the King of Stormwind, by the way, not established by a dwarf. But Varian established the Council of the Three Hammers as a temporary measure in order to serve as a governance bridge while the actual King of Ironforge, who at the moment is, I think, like 3 years old, is about to be 8 years old, grows up to be, you know, and then can take over the rulership as king. And there's other layers to that, too, because it's actually 3 separate political entities. There's not the dwarves. There's multiple dwarven organizations. Oh, no!
You're good to go.
Hell. Don't have those anymore, though. Gand is shamed in defeat and ambush. We were deceived from the start, but how? Why?
Don't ask questions. Take your wounded and leave while you still can.
Gand is humbled by your mercy. Yeah. Get out of here, get out of here.
I take it the ruthless assassins have been dealt with.
Nice throne, by the way.
Secured, we can exit the safe room.
I mean, look at this thing. I'm sorry, look at this stupid thing. God.
This is an outrage! They think they can kill me? Me! I am the king of Onderon!
Once they realized your strength, Nibet and her Republic conspirators knew they could no longer hope to control you. Killing you was their only option.
But I'm the king!
Jesus, dude.
Yes. I have deployed my droids to defend the premises. I assure you that you're now quite safe.
Good, excellent. Well done, yes.
My king, what of your cousins? They're still at the ancient proving grounds.
And? What do they have to do with any of this?
It's possible they're in danger too, good king. If your enemies are attacking you, they could also target your family. But the commander who valiantly saved your life can certainly rescue your cousins as well.
Your enemies are clearly ruthless. It may already be too late, but I'll do what I can.
Inconceivable! They have royal blood! I can't believe this. My blaster! I need my blaster! Oh, where did I put it?
His gullibility exceeds even my greatest estimates. We have given him fear. Now, we must give him anger. Find the king's cousins at the ancient proving ground. Kill them. Then spread evidence that Nibet is to blame. Petrif will demand retribution, and we'll have our diversion.
We should take them prisoner instead of killing them. They might be useful later, and Petrif won't know the difference.
They're even duller than the king. I doubt the effort is worthy of the gain, but do as you please, Commander. The Onderon wilds are treacherous. You should take a guide with knowledge of the terrain. Speed is crucial. The Republic fleet is about to begin refueling, but my plan is unfolding perfectly. Victory will be ours.
I was gonna say, this reminds me a lot of the Thule idiots in Onderon. Good God. But I'm the king! Yes, and they're trying to kill you. But, king! Uh-huh. Come on, Cupcake, keep up. You can do it. King? And he turns into a Pokemon, right? All he could say is the word king. King, king, king! King? King, king. Yes, king. You're a king. King!
Ah, Commander. I believe I found a pair of local guides we can trust.
Oh, not you two.
Jacaro. C2D4.
I mean, yes.
Better than they treated us, clearly. We really need this.
Do you know your way around this planet?
Have you forgotten my many tales of our service to the late Queen Lena? If only her son had inherited her wits, or grace, or looks.
He's dead. Get over it. I know everything, for I am super awesome.
I shall leave you in their capable hands, Commander.
I need bumbling music. Do I have comedy music?
Hands.
That's just apparently my life now. I'm just bumbling around now.
We just need to pick up a few questionably legal items to ensure all goes to plan. Luckily, we've made exactly the right friends here. Right, Jacaro? The delivery should be waiting for us.
There we go. I'm ready. I've got the music ready. Well, that, and she probably successfully wasn't killed like the other 99% of the Dark Council members' pancakes.
What happened to Drev? Never seen him anywhere.
You know...
Feeling a bit better now?
What do you want to train me in?
The dark side swells within you.
Okay, that's strange. What is this?
Is that better?
Oh, that's the operation. Okay, yeah. Go. Hang on, I guess I should figure out an Onderon playlist. Let's see, I need a song playlist that fits bunch of bumbling idiots who are ruled by a moron. What's the theme song of the United States? I can't actually remember right now. Sure, Zach Taft. I look forward to seeing more of them. As long as the game lets me kill them. Let me kill people. What do you want, game? Is it? No. No. Huh. Ah!
These blasters were modified to look just like the nobilities, house insignias and all. Rather ornate, too.
At least they're not killing our ears. I need music. Let's see. What's a really dumb music here? The worst national anthem. Oh, Canada. What's the national anthem that's like 15 minutes long or whatever? Like, it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. 50 minutes might be an exaggeration, but it's a long frickin' anthem. Of course, I can't think of its name right now. I can't think of anything. God, where am I? What is this place? Let's go with this. Let's just get generic planet music going on. I don't know. I got nothing. Greece. There you go. Perfect. That actually makes sense, because the last time I heard it was, this was several years ago, it was during a Formula 1 race, where someone who almost never wins won. And for those of you not familiar with it, they play their anthem when they win. The, you know, the nation they're from.
Do these ID crests look a little flimsy to you? Well, at least
Feeling a bit
Petra
better
is the
now?
only person they have to fool. Now for the data pads. Our slicer friend promised they'll be full of authentic personal correspondences. You pay for quality, Jacaro, and I had a good feeling about him. I'm an excellent judge of character. To the proving grounds. All we have to do is cross a wilderness full of horrific, bloodthirsty beasts. No problem for you, of course.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but the king had a request he wished me to relay. If you...
My oasis is overrun by lizards. The Jilla didn't warn me they'd reproduce like mad, and they're pushing out my favorite marks. They're ruining my hunts. Kill them!
God almighty, if this game does not give me an option to kill that jackass, that's a negative. Might be a negative. Anyways, best national anthem. Are there any good national anthems? Is that a concept that exists? The Galactic Empires. There we go. I mean, I've seen Onderon and KOTOR too, but yeah, this is my first time seeing it here. I actually like the brickwork. I'm probably going to give it a positive. The king's name is... I'm the king! I'm the king. King? Oh, right. You know what's funny is this is such a flagrantly obvious and surface level false flag operation. This would only ever work if the person we're deceiving is a moron. Anyways.
Feeling a bit better now?
That's a lot of mobs. I can just picture it. As he's, like, sitting there, struggling as I'm choking him to death with the Force. He's just screaming, but I'm the king! Why are you killing me? Like, literally can't understand it. Why are you doing this? Because you're the king. But I'm the king! Exactly. What?
Feeling a bit better now?
That's a very good question, X, which is why I assumed we'd have an option to kill him at some point. The question is, before we get there, do you think his cousins are worse than he is? The people we're about to either spare or kill, depending on how bad they are. And I'm just going to admit that that's going to decide my decision-making process here. Oh, yep. Oh, I got it. Of course. Hi. Find out in a minute, I suppose. I'm gonna call him King Hatesink, I think. Oh, it's always case by case, Damashi. Every time. Ironically. How do you get worse than that, though? Like, that's... How do you even do that? I love all this scintillating conversation I'm getting, too. It really makes it worthwhile to keep this fur bag around with me. I mean, honestly, Minister Lorman was amusing. Terrible, but amusing. Oh, I'll take the stupid king, definitely, J. Palmer. Listen, if you can't speak basic, what are you doing in this galaxy anyways?
Is that better?
There's a lot of things to open a door. Yeah, if Vet didn't speak basic, oh, she'd be dead. That's true. Lorman got his comeuppance, like, very quickly. And Shadow Machine tells me that King must face stupid dud. What do I call him? King Hatesink. Doesn't actually get his comeuppance, so that's not great.
Not one step closer. Identify yourself.
Who are those? Oh my god, those are the cousins, aren't they?
King Petriv sent me to rescue you all. You can lower your weapons.
I knew it!
We're saved! You'll escort us back to the lodge, yes?
Ugh, I'm tired of the lodge. Let's go back to the capital.
Oh, good thinking! Take us to the capital.
They're not going anywhere with you. For Onderon!
What? Why?
You will not harm my wards.
Oh god, I didn't even... Huh? What? I didn't even get the chance to start to do anything there. You're just like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. Well, whatever. We'll decide if we kill them in a minute, I suppose. I mean, he's dead, so it's whatever, honestly. It's okay, he's trained to kill Sith, J. Palmer. Let's choke him to death, first of all. Thank you. Then let's do literally everything else to him. Just down the list.
Feeling a bit better now?
I want you to burn while you fry.
My lord. My lady.
Alright. Hey, what's up?
How dare you!
Our cousin is the king!
Really? Well, unfortunately, we don't have any more information to judge. But, you know...
I know, but I can't kill him yet, so your deaths will have to tide me over.
You'll regret this!
No, I sincerely doubt that I will. Also, those are terrible last words.
Petriv's cousins are dead. Such a tragedy. I'll inform the king they were slain hours ago. Well done. Savik, out.
I'm very light side. Well, no, I'm not light side at all, Bladefell. I am good. There's a difference. I'm also someone who's stopped role-playing because the game has stopped letting me. I am, at this point, about 99% certain that if I wanted to keep playing a good character, I was supposed to pick the Republic. And you could argue that. You know, that's debatable, how good, bad, or in between that is. I'm not super happy with that. Now, we need to go tell King Idiot that Captain Idiot was a traitor who killed his cousins. Murdered them with his bare hands. Choked him to death. Just like this. Here, let me demonstrate. I mean, all joking aside, I have a really strong feeling, and I don't mean this as a negative. I just have a strong feeling that the same crowd which was lobbying for going back to basics with Tor and getting rid of all this, third faction nonsense. Awesome. Wanted, Republic good, Imperial's bad. And just kind of nuke all of that. Then again, the fact that the writing team has changed at least twice by this point from vanilla probably isn't helping anything. No, it's true, Dark Day. I am very stupid. Like, just the other day, I took the bowl in to rinse it from having cereal. I'm like, all right, okay, and then I flossed and brushed my teeth and did the ice pick thing and rinsed my teeth. And all right, I went out and realized I hadn't taken any of my vitamins yet, which are all chewables. So now I have to take my vitamins and then re-rinse and brush all my teeth. And finished all that and go and sit down, and I hadn't actually washed my dish. Very stupid. Yes, we've met King Hatesink.
Commander, good. The king is attempting to rally support for an invasion of the capital. Your efforts were beyond successful. My plan unfolds precisely as scheduled. The king will rejoin us momentarily, having realized he lacks the military support to reclaim his palace. He will ramble about traitors, demand the blood of his enemies, and remind us yet again that he is king. Then, with the simplest prodding, he will realize where to acquire the troops he needs.
We are wasting valuable time. Petriv is a useless idiot. Let's handle this ourselves.
An idiot, yes, but not useless. I beg your patience. This is not my first operation of this kind. Trust me. All will unfold as I've calculated.
Yeah, she's growing on me.
Cowardly! I want them all dead! Now bet the nobles, my worthless bannermen, the Republic, all of them!
Dear King, surely your allies rallied to your cause.
Some did, and they will receive a king's reward, but far too few. We cannot take the capital with such a small force.
I only wish the Empire could provide more aid in these dark times. No one else on this world has the strength to challenge the nobles and their off-world comrades. It seems impossible to believe.
No. Onderon's strength is not yet lost. There is one group. They've hated the nobles for years. Tried to undermine all relations with off-worlders. I always dismissed them as backward and paranoid, but perhaps they were right all along. About the Republic, that is. They are known as the Untamed. Their leader is a beast lord, a Kuru. He's a keeper of Onderon's old ways, but he will not join us easily.
Please, King Petrif. If we cannot supply the troops you so badly need, at least allow us to win this ally for you.
The Kuru and his Untamed are proud and stubborn. They have no more love for me than the nobles. I'm not sure how you could secure their allegiance.
This Beast Lord might not possess your level of intelligence, but then, who does? I'm sure he can be reasoned with.
Indeed, yes. Even a fool could see the wisdom in joining my cause. I will prepare myself for war. Good fortune to you, friends.
Credit where credit is due.
All too easy. The Untamed are Onderon's only other major group. Once they're weakened by joining this attack, they will pose no further threat to Imperial operations.
He's not wrong about them. They're maniacs.
There is a proper way to seek an audience with them. An old ritual. They love old rituals.
Excellent. And one more thing. I've learned that Ikoru's elder brother, Brutan, once trained as a Sith. He died fighting Republic forces on Hoth. The rest of the Untamed aren't aware of Brutan's service. To leave Onderon and serve off-worlders would be abhorrent to them. Perhaps a useful bit of leverage over Ikoru.
How did that happen, exactly?
Brutan's master served Darth Jadus. I expect they hope to train him, then send him back to seize leadership of the Untamed and disrupt Onderon's Republic-friendly regime. Unfortunately, that plan never came to fruition. It would have made our task much simpler. I must finish preparing my own droids for the assault. It is best if any Imperial identifying components are removed. Good luck.
Feeling a bit better now?
I'm weirded out because a lot of the dialogue here is actually quite good. And I do love how the game keeps giving me the option to mock the hell out of this guy. But what the dialogue option says literally on the pop-up is, you know, mock the king. And then the dialogue that comes out is, you know, oh, nobody could have your intelligence, my lord. You know, it's not what I was expecting the first time I took the option. It's a nice little touch. Alright, where are you lending me to? Okay. Let's go here. Yeah, it's actual mocking. Ironically, the kind of crap I hate in real life. Go figure. I really wish Savicom was here. It would amuse me to have Savic while we're having Savicom. There's nothing else to that. It's just amusing. Of course, we secretly know she's a Sith. We've already got, like, 3 Sith Lords. We got Darth Tyron, Darth, oh god, I still can't think of his name. Darth Ilyani, we know her. Happy music. I just like Secret Amana music. What do you want me? Yeah, would it be Darth Savicom or Darth, like, Com?
The Untamed beacons should be nearby. You'll need to light them to gain an audience with Ikoru.
Probably Gate Knight. I'm not that good with names, and I kind of blazed for the bonus series because I hated them. Oh, sweet. Destroy the beacon. Severe insult ahead. Yes. Yes, severe insult. Listen, they saw Minas Tirith and they were like, dude! And they loved it. They had to. They had to. Screw rituals. I got stuff to do. Like choking you to death. We're being stupid. Oh, I need to get that plus to story while I'm thinking about it. I mean, it was actually pretty good for Koteet's main content, Nero says. And then we played the bridge content in between Koteet and Onslaught. God, it was just... what the hell were they smoking when they designed that? Yeah. Negative for King. What's his name? I just told you. What? Oh, wow, Psychotic. That's crazy. Uh-oh. Well, please leash. God, the leashing radiuses are so huge in this game. That's it. It's in a question mark, Act. It's in a question mark.
Is that better?
You know, it's funny. I just realized I don't actually have to kill these people, so I'm just gonna leave. I'm out. Peace. All right, let's get back to the generic planetary music here.
I hope your plan works. The Untamed do admire pure aggression. Maybe you're onto something.
Reminds me of Cataclysm, Psychotic. For those of you who weren't there for it when Cataclysm first went live, Cataclysm was scaled for, well, for a lot stronger than anybody was walking into it unless you had high-end raid gear. And you would replace that high-end raid gear in just a couple of quests. So, if you weren't someone who was playing, like, so I took my raiding character from Wrath into Cataclysm, no problem. Then I wanted to level some other random character who just took questing gear in and just got stomped by, like, trash mobs on the very first quest. It was awful. So this is, hang on, so we've got, how many expansions are there? Hang on, I've got a list. So we've got, dramatic pause. So we had Rise of the Hutt Cartel, which we did. And then Forged Alliances, which is part of Revan, which we did. Then Kotfi, that's Knights of the Fallen Empire. And then Koteet, which is Knights of the Eternal Throne. That led into Onslaught, which is what we are currently in. And then there will be Legacy of the Sith, which is actually the one that went live this year. So there's our expansions. We will probably finish Tor this week. Which, admittedly, I'm finally reaching the point where I'm ready to just be done with this game. Took 2 months to get there. I had tribal music. I have tribal music.
You desecrate our shrines, flaunt our traditions, and then have the gall to come here?
Yeah.
I am a Koru, Beast Lord of Onderon, and I do not tolerate insults. Speak quickly if you want to live.
King Petrif is attacking the capital. Your warriors will help him.
Oh, you are a bold one. I'm intrigued. You think insulting our ways will convince me to help a man I hate? The Untamed are the true masters of this world. We know everything that happens here, including Petrif's idiotic squabbles with his nobles. Why help one against the other, when I want you all dead?
Because I know your brother's secret. I can tell your followers, or you can do what I say.
What? What do you believe you know about my brother?
He trained to become a Sith like me. He died serving off-world masters.
Curse you! Must you defile everything in your path?
Yes.
Untamed, hear me! Rally all warriors! The hour of our revolution is at hand! Bring forth Crashalok! He and all of our beasts shall have a half portion! Let them be fueled for the fight, but still hungry for victory!
Ha! Crashalok! But his beast's name! It's actually a pretty clever pun, if you speak ancient Onderonian at least. I'm honestly impressed.
No one cares.
Petrif will learn what real strength is. We will show the galaxy the true power of Onderon.
Hold up. Why do we give a crap about any of these people? No, I'm sorry. I'm enjoying this more than not, but this plot is stupid. So, there's a mega ultra super weapony type of shipyard on Corellia, which the Republic somehow isn't defending because of stupid reasons of stupid. Because apparently they're the Federation. Then, we happen to know that the Republic fleet is going to pause in order to refuel here on Onderon while heading to Corellia, which I'm not even going to get into the geography of how nonsensical that is. So we go here to convince the local king, who is a moron, of the fact that he needs to fight against the Republic, so we could use the planetary guns to wipe out an entire Republic fleet. Like, I'm already having issues with this. And then, immediately, and in order to accomplish this, we're recruiting the local barbarians who have beasts in order to attack the king's own city, which he's currently in charge of, in order to satisfy him, to use the planetary guns to wipe out the fleet, which is... No, I'm sorry. This is really stupid. Just roll with it. Nope, yep, that's exactly what I'm going to put in the negative. Just roll with it. I mean, back in KOTOR 2, they had the whole Beast Lord thing, too. But it's like... What? Okay. I have a ship that can precision bombard you from orbit. We are in Onslaught, Consulate. Alright, where are we going? Oh, we're going all the way back, aren't we? Yeah, okay. Also didn't even notice the giant snake. I'm not sure what that is. Actually, no. We lost the Eternal Fleet because reset button. We also lost our only real capital ship because reset button. They mentioned we have a fleet. I don't know what fleet they presume we have. I don't know who donated ships to us so that we actually have a fleet. Like, where the hell did those ships come from? But anyways, the Eternal Fleet's gone. The super weapon's gone. The throne's gone. Everything's gone.
I'm telling you, an idiot doesn't come up with a pun like that. Or speak a forgotten language.
He agreed to fight a war because his brother died in some other war.
Insane?
Madness.
Perhaps. Xenophobic? Bigoted? Murderous? All fair. But he's not an idiot. Not the bigger idiot, anyway.
Debating relative idiocy, are we?
Yes.
They can't decide who's more foolish, Petrif or Akoru.
Really now?
Onderon, your conquering king
Oh my god. Oh my god.
This day, none will question my power.
Alright, you win.
Excuse me?
He said you're sure to win, O mighty king.
I am indeed. Our noble forces await us. To war!
Okay, I have to admit, the king is actually amusing me more than not.
The capital's security forces should be adequately distracted. While they attack the main gate, my droids will blow open the city wall near a sewer bypass. That will be your entry to the Orbital Defense Cannon's control center. Once you destroy the Republic fleet in orbit, our victory on Corellia will be one step closer.
Whoops.
Where will you be during the assault?
Remotely directing my droid commandos. They will supervise Petriv and Akuro to ensure they stay on task. After all, I wouldn't want to waste all this effort we've put into undermining Onderon's government. To that end, once the fleet is dealt with, you should regroup with Petriv and his troops. If you aid them in defeating Senator Nibet and her Republic allies, Petriv can rule unchallenged as the Empire's puppet. Onderon would be ours.
You think he'll survive long enough to even reach the palace?
With our aid, I have no doubt. I will deploy my droids to clear a path. Good luck, Commander. This will be a day long remembered.
You know, I really hope, Dark Day, that that's going to be an option. I don't know. This is actually all new content to me. I've never played any of this before. So that's why we're in Premier Run territory at this point. Oh, wrong song. Let's just get the King's theme song playing for a minute while we get out of here. Where are we going? Where are we going? We're going over there. Oh god, that would be so great, Solar Galaxy. That would be positive worthy. Go forth for the king! Ah! He just gets shot by some random peasant leaning over the wall with a bow, and yes, I know what I'm referencing. Like, don't even make it a blaster. Just some kid with an honest-to-God bow and arrow. Hey, I think that guy's the king. You think I shoot him? I don't know, you're supposed to shoot the king? Yeah. Yeah, hang on. I did it. I shot the king. Way to go. Now we gotta execute you. What? How to rank the starter zones in WoW? Well, I hope to do that when it comes to the review. But since you asked me off the top of my head, I'd put the Demon Hunter starting zone as the best. Followed shortly by the Goblin one, then the Worgen one. No, let me walk that back. The Pandaren one, because I forgot it existed. So, Demon Hunter, Pandaren, Goblin Worgen, Death Knight. Yep. And then Gnome Troll. They're both kind of equal. Forsaken. Tears Fall. And honestly, then just like most of the rest except for 2. And then the second to worst is Draenei. And then the worst by far is Blood Elf. Good God. Oh yeah, right, we're in battle. Battle. Wait.
Feeling a bit better now?
Hi, Rama. Oh, they're there. Couldn't even see those at first. Nothing at all, J. Palmer. It's the greatest starter zone ever made. It's BC. The problem with this Blood Elf and the Draenei starter zones is they are BC starter zones, and it shows. Do you know? This is a problem WoW has had, and it's a real problem they've never actually messed with. Check this out. Do you know how many players, new players, who've never played WoW before, look at the available races and default, no, Crazy Norse, and default to either making a Draenei on the Alliance or a Blood Elf on the Horde? This is not a joke or hyperbole. This is a very real problem. You're probably thinking, well, why is that a problem? Because their starter zones suck compared to everything else. I actually know quite a few people, as in approaching the dozens range, of who started WoW made a Blood Elf, and then quit. So, I have actually had to... I don't know, Crazy Horse. I've actually had to tell people who have fired up the game, okay, if you want to make a Blood Elf, go to one of the other starter zones immediately. Get to Silvermoon, ignore all the quests, teleport to the friggin' the rest of the camp, or get a portal or something, and go do any other zone. Just any other starter zone. They're all better. So, that's what you are experiencing is a new feature, Lord Harriman. So when you make a new character now, you have two options. You can start on the starter zone, which is the one you're talking about, or you can start in your starter zone, which is relative to your specific race. The generic starter zone isn't. It's the generic starter zone. I shouldn't call it generic because it's actually really good and awesome, but you get my point.
They know we're in the sewers. You'll need to move fast.
Last I checked, no. To my knowledge, the determining factor for whether or not you get that choice is whether or not you are on your second character or not. So if you're a brand new account which has never made a character ever, I believe you are pigeonholed into certain choices, which, for the record, I think sucks. I don't even remember the exact specifics, but I know you make a new character. Look at this; they just move in sync. Look at that. You start a new character. You're shoved in the generic zone, and I believe you're dumped immediately into BFA. I think.
Fools. They'll collapse the whole city on us. We need to get past that cave-in. Look around, see what you can find.
No, I'm not 100% on that because I literally can't test that. My account's been around since BC.
I suppose we don't have a choice. Good luck.
So...
It worked. Hurry! You must reach the orbital controls inside the palace.
Feeling a bit better now?
And the way it's going to work out when we get to the review is I'm going to give the game probably like 12 or 15 positives and then 3 negatives. Because if you are playing your second character or any other character after, the new character and leveling experience in WoW is the best that exists in multiple different areas in multiple different ways. It is incredibly good and brilliantly designed. But if you're a brand new account with a brand new character, you are forced into one exact thing, which is also not good, in addition to the lack of choice. So, that sucks. I wonder if you could trick it. I wonder if you can make a new character, and then just make a second character, and then, like, your second character has the options that your first character lacked. I don't know the exact requirement for having the proper leveling options. And yes, we did, Magister. And I'm not going to tell you it right now, because spoilers. But spoilers, it's nothing good. I even retconned it in Shadowlands. It was worse. Anyways. I don't see why you wouldn't, Mike Romano. Assuming you were a subscriber, of course. I have no idea what the demo limits you to, because I've never played it. Can I help you? Yeah, I know it limits you to level 20, but that actually doesn't answer me much at all in any direction. The only thing I know you can't do in a demo is anything that involves stealing gold from people.
Is that better?
Which is a fairly lengthy list, believe it or not. I don't know. That's my point, Lord Harriman. I'm not sure what the exact trigger is for being able to make a, and I'm just going to say this as blunt as I can, a real character. Of course there's Jedi here.
If we must.
Why wouldn't there be Jedi? Why are there Jedi here?
Too late. Surrender.
You got it. You're right. I surrender. Now I'm going to kill the Master in front of you. In front of the Padawan.
It is not too late. Surrender.
I'm going to kick the Master in the groin. Yes, really. Looks like Jakaro might kill the Padawan. No! I don't have enough DPS to kill the Master before the Padawan dies. Damn it. I mean, I know that's psychotic, but where the hell have the Jedi been this whole time? Like, you'd think they would have some presence other than just randomly showing up as a generic boss fight.
The Force guides me.
What is going on with this nonsense? Of course, everything got wiped out by Sakul. God damn it.
It is not too late. Surrender.
It's starting to piss me off more and more the more I hear that.
Strike now! Strike now!
Yeah, I gave up trying to be cruel. Taking too long.
I have failed.
Yes, you have. Moving on.
Defensive cannons activated. I'm targeting the Republic ships now.
Onderon Patrol, this is Captain Person. Hold your fire! I repeat, hold fire! You are attacking friendly vessels!
I say again, Onderon Control, you are hitting Allied ships! Cease fire! Cease fire!
Well, we just killed thousands.
Republic ships have been wiped out. Outstanding. You have exceeded even my most aggressive calculations. Meanwhile, the Republic's chances at victory on Corellia have decreased at least 43%.
Unfortunately, and perhaps unsurprisingly, the King's assault has not been as successful.
Lorshock!
Petrus and Akoru have breached the palace, but the last of my droids have been destroyed. I have no visibility.
Please, meet them in the throne room. Ensure the greatest possible victory for our Empire. Savick out.
Thank you for bringing it to my attention, Melkor, but I don't even see it. And thank you very, very much for the donation. I always appreciate you. Thank you. I've put that towards the Trails in the Sky block. Credit where credit is due. At least the story is acknowledging the fact that the recent multiple galactic wars are breaking the galaxy's capacity to war down. WoW tends to ignore that. Not always, but it tends to ignore it, which is irritating. Of course they can just aggro me. Why couldn't they? Yeah, I've played XCOM. I know how long wars go. Yeah, if I'm being completely honest, this is nice that they're, you know, acknowledging it. I wish they'd acknowledge it even more, you know? I wish we'd be down to just, like, really, really, really bring the conflict level down. No fleets, in the traditional sense of the word. No giant armies, no nothing. No massive shipyard, which was probably ridiculously expensive to make, and is, speaking of which, and is a super weapon. Has been for a while, Melkor. I haven't played any of this stuff for a while. Yeah, exactly. Like, losing capacity.
Onderon will return to the old ways.
Fight.
The pure ways. Your blood will wash away centuries of desecration.
And yeah, having untrained troops.
You don't fight for Onderon. You fight for your own bigoted agenda.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for
fight.
killing him.
And you lose.
His loss is my gain, I bet. I've beaten you. I've won. Did you really believe you could steal the throne of the great King Petrif?
Steal your throne? What in blazes are you talking about?
No sense lying now. Your treason is over.
I'll kill him.
Won.
Oh, I can kill both of them. I can kill both of them. Oh, you shouldn't have, BioWare. It's not even my birthday. Oh God, that was satisfying. Yeah. I feel better after that. Oh. Hey, I killed the king. FYI. Shadow Machine lied to me. Oh, that's a nice shot. That's also going to cause some very serious damage when it hits.
I confirmed it with my own sensors. Total destruction of all Republic ships in orbit.
And without a single Imperial casualty. You have served your Empire well indeed, Savick. Empress Asina will reward your ingenuity and loyalty.
Savick has done an excellent job. Her plan was well conceived and flawlessly executed.
Without you, this would not have been possible. I am fortunate to have worked alongside you. If only Petrif had survived. Onderon's resources could have been a great benefit to us.
Resources are not our most urgent concern. You will depart for Corellia at once.
Yes, Lord Malgus.
Another fleet of Republic reinforcements is docking at Mek-Sha, as Darth Vowron predicted. That will be your next target. Ensure another victory, and the Republic will have no hope of stopping us.
So, what's our next stop?
Set course for Mek-Sha.
Ah, we know it well. A mined-out asteroid converted into a fueling station.
I plan to return there
We'd
someday.
love to join you. If you think your alliance has room, of course. Please? Please?
It's been a pleasure working with you again. Welcome to the Alliance.
Wonderful.
Sure.
I have a shuttle prepped and ready, shall we?
Yeah, I've decided to quit the war. What? Yeah, I'm out. So, Lana, Theron, let's go find some part of the galaxy and never leave there again. I declare peace. We're done. Alright, hang on. Let me type up some notes here because we're done with that. Yeah, we're going west of Bakura. No, that's terrifying out there. Are you kidding me? We're gonna find some place. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be blackjack, just blackjack. See you around, Jay Palmer. Stardew Valley Star Wars Edition? I'd play the crap out of that. Kidding me? Hell, I'm looking forward to that upcoming Stardew Valley mech game, which I can never remember the name of. You know what I'm talking about? No, of course you don't, because I can't even think of the name of the one I'm talking about. Here, let's get some music going while I wait here. There probably are Crazy Norse, but I actually haven't seen any. Which is strange. Because I have modded the crap out of Stardew before. No, it was announced a while ago. I'll look it up. Mech Farming Sim. Lightyear Frontier is the one I'm thinking of. It was revealed a while ago, and I've been following it ever since. Oh, and by the way, whoever asked, I have no idea how Malgus is back. I don't believe they've even properly, answered that yet. Oh, this isn't the one I thought it was, Dakota. I'll have to keep an eye on that one. Alright, let's update the HUD now that we're done with Onderon. Who is Malgus? Well, he's Darth Vader. Not literally. But we've also killed him before. Killing him was quite satisfying, yes. Right. There was another reason I came to my ship. Watch, my whole fleet is this ship. What do you want to bet? It'd actually be funny. Out of my inventory. Yes, Crazy Norse. Lightyear Frontier. Did I just say that? Oh god, maybe I didn't. Hey, let's do some drugs! Oh yeah. Yep, we knocked him unconscious on an exploding... Welcome to... Mek-Sha? Some of you probably aren't paying attention to the dialogue, but the story negative I gave for Malgus is literally somehow Malgus has returned, and that's the negative. Yellow. Can I help you?
Commander, welcome to Mek-Sha, outlaw crossroads of the galaxy. Darth Shah. I'm pleased we finally have an opportunity to work together. I've heard such delicious things about you. I served your old ally, Darth Vowron. He asked that I aid in supervising this operation due to my experience with the galaxy's criminal element. This intriguing specimen is a member of the Brothers, our key allies on the station. They've provided the Empire with quality slave labor for many years.
It is our great honor to take those without value and give them value, to give labor to those without purpose.
Slavery is disgusting. I'm not interested in supporting it.
The slaves support us, dear. That's the whole point. If you want nothing to do with their business, that's your prerogative. We are merely using the Brothers' territory as a headquarters.
Great. I'm glad my protest managed absolutely nothing.
Our goal here is more complex than it might seem. Let's step into the operations center to discuss the details. Wait, there's some... What?
Oh no, it's... I don't know what it is. It's a mysterious assailant. Yeah, honestly, can we just base Delta Zero this place? Sure, why are you based at slaves? Oh god, it's Shredder! Tonight I dine on turtle soup. I don't know where that accent came from. I'm stupid. We've covered this. We've covered this. It's Revan! Oh god, I swear to Christ if this is Revan. If somehow Revan has returned. The only thing that would be worse than Revan is if it was somehow Tenebrae again. I vow right now, if Revan comes back, it's 2 negatives to story. And if Tenebrae comes back, it's 3. Just committing to that right now. Okay, I do kind of like how we were the only ones who resisted that. Now, if Revan and Tenebrae return and work together,
What blazes was that?
then yeah, we,
I have no idea, but I appreciate the help.
Anytime. It's good to see you again. Lord Shah still in one piece?
Oh, yes. The Force was strong with him. Pity he didn't stand a chance. For a Sith to defy the Empress and attack you during a top priority mission, you must have done something truly stirring.
I don't remember making any Sith angry lately. None that are alive, at least.
Perhaps he simply wanted a challenge. Fascinating. Ah well, you handled him easily enough. Best if we return to the mission at hand. Shall we?
yeah, no kidding, Pillars of Snow. Just let Tenebrae stay dead.
Ah, old friend. Such a pleasure to see you again after so long. I overheard something of a commotion. Is everything all right?
Someone attempted to kill our dear guest.
An assassination attempt? On you? I'm amazed that there's anyone left in the galaxy who would even try.
Thank you for acknowledging that. I am not flirting with Valron.
I'm not convinced it was an assassin. It felt more like I was being tested.
Really? I shall task some of our people with tracking the assailant down. I would love to learn more. Now then, Shah, let's go over what we've planned.
Like, I like Valron. Not like that.
A Republic fleet key to the defense of Corellia has taken position nearby and intends to purchase fuel from Mek-Sha in order to continue their journey. It is our task to ensure that this fleet never reaches its destination.
So we stop them from refueling.
Unfortunately, that wouldn't fulfill our Empress's command.
Yeah, deja vu, huh,
If the
Retu?
fleet cannot acquire fuel, they'll simply consolidate what fuel they have into their most powerful warships and send them on. We do not have sufficient vessels to prevent this, and we must make every effort to stop the entire fleet.
Then we lure them in and attack them while they transfer the fuel.
Just so, old friend.
Major Anri, explain your discovery.
It just so happens that a perfect weapon is built into this rock. All we have to do is take control of it. See, this place used to belong to the Hutt, until their slaves revolted and kicked them out. Now Mek-Sha's neutral, run by the 5 biggest crews on the station. Huttbreaker, she led the revolt. Well, she wanted to be sure nobody could show up and steal what she and the other slaves just won, so they put in a fail-safe. It fires a pulse that neutralizes all the fuel in Mek-Sha's tanks, plus whatever's in the fuel lines, and any ships attached. We could even juice the pulse up a bit, make it strong enough to ignite the fuel everywhere but the tanks, fry every ship in the fleet.
Okay, so this is a very minor irritation. But let me do a little writing 105 for you, okay? One of the things you want to be very careful about if you're ever writing anything, especially dialogue, is repetition. You don't want to just constantly use the same word over and over and over, unless you're doing so very carefully and deliberately. That's the caveat. But it's a good general rule to try and vary up word usage, because otherwise it sounds unnatural and it loses any impact, right? Furthermore, on top of that, it makes even less sense because, yeah, if it's natural, it flows not well too. It makes, if the word you're using is effectively wrong or contradictory to the overall plot or world building, then you have an issue. Now you're probably thinking, what do you want about, Lord? That's not a fleet. I just looked it up, because of course I have this book right here, just to make sure I was using the correct terminology. Even ignoring real-life terminology, fleet is pretty high up on the list of groups of ships. You've got a system force, which is below that, which is exactly what it sounds like. You got a squadron. For reference, by the way, the Death's Head Squadron was the one we saw in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. That's not a fleet. That's a squadron. Then we have a line, which is actually most of what we've been seeing here. Like, and exactly what it sounds like. Again, pulling from real-life naval terminology. It's just a line of ships. Usually somewhere from 4 to 12, right? And then you got a single. I'm just bringing this up because it would actually help with the world building and the overall tone of what's going on here if they consistently referred to these groups of ships as a line, or at best, a squadron. Because it would help emphasize just how smaller the ships and the fleets and the naval capacity of the Republic and the Empire have gotten at this point in time. But instead it's just, oh yeah, we gotta kill the fleet, and then we gotta kill the fleet, and then we gotta kill the fleet on 2 separate planets. Back to back.
If the pulse will already stop them, why bother with the
That would be
extra
funny,
step?
Crazy Norse.
If we have the opportunity to obliterate our enemy, why do any less?
Because we're not after total.
To sell fuel to the Republic fleet hasn't been made yet.
Right. Evil. I've got to be evil.
It falls.
Where's my cat?
To persuade
I need a cat to pet, so I can be a Bond villain.
To help the Republic walk into our trap.
Come here.
Fortunately, you have the perfect opportunity to get started. Brother?
Huttbreaker hosts a celebration, an auction of pointless material wealth gained without effort. The 5 strongest crews are invited.
You join our dear friends at Huttbreaker's auction. Ensure that the crews vote in favor of selling the fuel, and help the Republic slip its head into the noose.
And what will the rest of you be doing?
Major Anri will be acquiring some special items we'll need later. Meanwhile, I will make a show of myself around the rest of Mek-Sha.
We shall lead our enemies to suspect we're planning a direct assault, so they do not look too closely for other dangers.
I will remain in contact, should any other urgent matters arise.
And watch your back. At least one of these crews is already in the Republic's corner, or the fleet wouldn't have come here in the first place.
Best of luck.
Well, I'm trying really hard not to be negative about this Pillars just now, but I honestly feel like the writers not only, don't know their terminology, but and didn't bother to look it up because it would take a grand total of 3 minutes to look that up, and that's just they don't have that kind of time. But I also have a bad feeling that they're just trying to ignore the fact that, the 2 sides are pulverized right now, so they can just go back to having their war like they want to. You know what I mean? I hope I'm wrong about that impression. I really do. Okay, hit. Anyways, whinging aside. Whinge. This is definitely not how you're supposed to get out of here, but I do not care. Oh my god. Interesting. Pretty. What, Valron? Yeah, I can see Valron as Emperor. Frankly, I'm pretty sure the only reason Valron isn't Emperor is because he knows enough to not stick his neck out when he doesn't need to. Laterval had a cool idea. What if both sides are completely unaware of just how weak the other side are? Liquid French toast. Oh, that sounds so good, Gum Gum. Oh, I would murder the entire Republic fleet of 2 ships. in order to savor that particular concoction.
Is that better?
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of with you on that, Pillar. Like I said, I'm trying not to be negative, and I am
invited to a party at Huntbreakers before. Chikaro has a bit of a crush on her, you know. Just watch. He'll be too nervous to even talk to her.
What he said was, "It's no crush. She's a woman of power and conviction. She would make a worthy mate." Anyways, Crazy Norse, thankfully, modern-day real life doesn't exist. I'm sorry, this has actually all been a simulation. I'm trying to get the formula right, okay? It's insane. I changed one dinky little thing, and then like 20 years later, it's all gone topsy-turvy. I don't even know. It's ridiculous. So I'm still fiddling with the details. Don't worry, I'll get it right someday. Is that Darth Bandon's head again? Because 20 years ago, Mike Tomano, I moved this one car 10 feet to the left. One of these days, I'm going to fix all this crap, I swear. Next time, I'll move it to the right. Correct. Darth Bandon.
Fancy meeting you here, boss.
We were catching up with Theron and Lana, and they mentioned you were here. Figured we'd lend a hand.
We've cut a few deals with these people over the years. With our help, you'll know just how to play them. They'll vote however you want.
I'll be glad to have any information you can give me.
Just doing our part. If you're ready, let's head inside. All right, first up, Huntbreaker. Revolutionary leader, liberator, and unofficial queen of Mek-Sha. Her crew runs the main docks.
She won't need much convincing. Selling that fuel will bring in a small fortune, but that only stands if you keep the peace. You get too messy with any of these gangs, Huntbreaker will lock things down no matter how much she stands to make. Keeping Mek-Sha safe is her top priority.
All right. Darth Shah said that one of the crew leaders is a Republic sympathizer. What can you tell me?
Junker Jot, retired Republic Navy. His people handle maintenance for all of Mek-Sha. They're the reason we've got air to breathe and a nice view that doesn't kill us.
Jot doesn't really have a crew, just droids and other engineers like him. But without them, this place literally doesn't work. So they get a seat at the table. Needless to say, the Republic will get his vote to refuel, so no need to get involved there. Better to focus on the other crew leaders.
Why bother with the others? Huntbreaker and Jot will vote in the Republic's favor. We tell the brothers to do the same, and we have a majority.
The brothers' relationship with the Empire is no secret. If they suddenly vote to sell fuel to the Republic, it will seem way too suspicious.
Yeah, it's more of a hassle, but you'll need a vote from one of the other crew leaders to keep the Republic from looking too closely.
First is Veek the Snake. He runs a Rhodian smuggling ring, the Harito Walled, one of the biggest operations in the galaxy.
Veek's a businessman. He can be anybody's friend if there's an upshot for him. Just have to figure out what he needs and make sure he gets it. The other crew leader is Indigo, Mandalorian. Well, ex-Mandalorian. Same with his crew. They're called something like Darmanda. They're mercs and gun runners.
Indigo has some kind of rivalry with Veek, so it's a good thing you only need one of them to vote your way.
Veek or Indigo. Simple enough. Thank you for your help.
What are friends for?
Looks like Huntbreaker's about to give her big welcome speech. Let's find a good spot.
Mek-Sha! How are you doing tonight? Look at us! We are surviving! We are thriving! We are turning this tiny rock into the beating heart of the galaxy! Just a few years ago, we were slaves. Now, we're masters. Imagine what we can become in just a few more years. All we've got to do is stay us. Be what we've been so far. We keep the peace. We keep the balance. And we keep moving forward. We've got the whole galaxy laid out in front of us. Everyone else just doesn't see it yet. All they see are the soldiers, politicians, Sith, Jedi. All the people who think they run things, who think their wars decide who's in charge. The truth is, they'll never be in charge. They'll never really run things. You know why? Because while they're busy killing each other, we're making deals, making friends, expanding everything they buy so they can blow each other up. We're selling and getting richer, stronger. By the time they stop and do the math, it will be too late. Because there will be a lot more of us than there are of them. And then, it will be us calling the shots. So stay the course, my friends. It only gets better from here. Welcome to Mek-Sha. Did you enjoy the speech?
I can see how you were able to inspire the rebellion against the Hutts.
Well, the Hutts did most of the work for me, if I'm honest. Someone just had to fire the first shot. Now then, please, enjoy our hospitality. Have a drink on me and keep the peace. You can keep the peace, yes? I have your Sith friend's word on it.
The Sith aren't known for keeping their word or keeping the peace.
Such cynicism! Commander, mitawi there, Jedi Knight.
It's so rare that we can step away from the wall for a peaceful chat.
Just because nobody's shooting at each other yet, doesn't mean the war isn't here.
The two of us have a prior appointment, I'm afraid. Please, enjoy the auction.
I know you helped Malgus on Ossus. You picked the wrong side. And you're going to regret it.
Now that's interesting. Option 1 says loyalist, which I am not. So, option 3 says I'll enjoy killing you, which I won't. So that actually really only leaves one option.
Destroying the Republic isn't my goal. This war can end whenever we want it to.
What? With another Treaty of Coruscant? I'll pass.
Master Jedi.
See you around.
I do have Treno music. I'd have to find it.
Feeling a bit better now?
I don't have it handy. I don't listen to it often. No. God, I don't know the name of the Treno song. Not to give this game too much credit, but I wonder if they're trying to go in a direction of the reason that the lesser factions are able to maneuver right now is because the two superpowers have been so severely diminished. I don't know if they're actually going to follow through on that, but it's an interesting idea.
Keep on walking. I got nothing to say to imp lovers.
Insulting me to my face. Not the smartest choice.
Hutbreaker needs me and mine a lot more than she needs you and yours. You want to kill me? Go ahead. See what happens.
That's interesting technique.
I need another drink.
Well, that went that way. I was hoping that would prompt more conversation. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, actually, prisoners. I mean, to continue this parallel into its logical conclusion... My God. That looks really good. In WoW, the Horde and the Alliance shouldn't be superpowers by this point in the history.
Feeling a bit better now?
They should be barely functional, like, coalitions of dying city-states. You know what I mean? because of all the crap they've been through in such an extraordinarily short period of time. It's one of the only reasons I'm in favor of the time skip before we get to Dragonflight.
What,
you looking about to introduce me to the great commander of the Alliance? Or Galt? After all the business we've done together, I thought we were friends. Perhaps you would like to be friends, Commander?
It depends on how well you treat your friends.
That depends on how well my friends treat me. What you looking for, Commander? I supplied some of the items for the auctioneer, at a markup, of course. Or perhaps you need something else acquired.
What's your stance on fueling the Republic's ships?
Selling fuel to the Republic puts credits directly into Huntbreaker's pockets, which is wonderful. I do like seeing my friends succeed. Voting to support the sale doesn't do much for me or mine. I imagine you aren't keen on seeing that happen.
It would be better to discuss this in private.
I'm open to a mutually beneficial deal if you're interested.
What do you have in mind?
Just a little business transaction between friends. Come to Harita Wald's territory, near the Market District. We'll talk business there, later. For now, let's enjoy the party. And don't forget to look at the auction. Yeah, you got a bunch of gross stuff down there. What is the name of the freaking song? I've been looking this whole time. I can't find it. I don't think I actually have it. I might have deleted it. Which would make sense. I used to do that kind of as a normal operating procedure. Yeah, I noticed there's lots and lots of slaves in Karma. This is great. This place is awesome. I'll to my ship. Yeah, you know those new missile pods we just installed? Let's take them for a test ride. Just take out the shield. That's all we got to do. Let's see if it's under Sleepless. I sincerely doubt it, but I'm going to laugh if it is. Nope. Oh well, I'm pretty sure I deleted it. Hi.
What do you want?
Not much for small talk, are you?
No, I'm not. And I got a hunch you aren't either. We wouldn't be talking unless you wanted something. So what is it?
To the point. Let me return the favor. I'm looking for some help. Interested?
Do you think Darmand don't want to fight and die in your little war? You're out of your mind. We're doing just fine on Mek-Sha.
I'm here to get your help with our operations on Mek-Sha. No fighting needed.
Interesting. Depending on the details. Look, this isn't a good place to do business. Too many years. Meet me at the canteen later, and we'll see.
Oh. Speaking of which, let's get this Yahoo out of my party. Go away.
Hey.
No bet, Crazy Norse. Gotta have those boss fights. Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm stuck. There we go.
Ah, there you are. Have you learned everything you need to complete our plan?
Yes, I'm done here.
Splendid. I hope your time was illuminating.
How'd I do? Too scruffy? Just scruffy enough?
Scruffy isn't the word I'd choose.
I couldn't agree more.
Gonna do a hit and run on Jot's turf a bit later. Need to keep the old crank from realising who's behind it. Just need a few more sets of gear for the rest of my boys and we'll be off.
I've rather loudly let the actual Nova Blades, as well as the Exchange, hear that I'm hiring extra muscle. Word should spread quickly.
I'm on my way to meet with one of the crews we need to vote for the refueling.
Wonderful. My master knew you were the one for the job. Well then, we all have our tasks before us. Shall we reconvene in the Brothers' territory later?
Yeah, you gotta say it right too. Oh, bye. Okay. still down there. Excuse
Nobody
me.
better mess.
What actually happened, Kay, is he was trying to say, no, stop! As I was ripping out his larynx, and then I ate it right in front of him as he slowly died in front of me.
Destination?
You're good to go.
I was hungry.
Enjoy your stay.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're already past the thing. But, like, you know what? Hang on, I got an idea. See if I can find something else here. Nope, right, because they did that. Well, that's okay. I've got it local.
You're good to go.
Right here. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's the whole idea, Kay. Plus, I was hungry. Davacom, you missed yourself. She was really evil, too. It was delightful. Although she didn't like the fact that we killed the idiot. Yeah, I joke not. I kid you not. On the planet just before this, we had Darth Savik.
We create workers.
It wouldn't even surprise me if it was intended to be a reference, because this
Ready
is
for
horror.
departure.
So I feel like we have to make a choice here. So who do you think we should go with? The Mandalorian or the Rodian? Hey, MPPY.
Yep.
Sorry, bad. Let's see if I can figure out which one's which first. Well, you got 3 seconds, Kay. Oh, God, that's disorienting.
Nobody better mess with us now.
No. After all, there's not a lot of government above the military. Well, we're doing this one. Which is...
You're good to go.
I can tell from here. Is this the Mandalorian? This is the Mandalorian. Screw it. Death to them. Wait, hang on. It's Dark Day's first day here. We'll go with Mandalorians.
Well, you showed up. I prefer doing business here. Better drinks, no dress code, industrial waste disposal in the back if there's trouble.
Are you trying to be funny?
People usually like that one. Or them.
Okay, I wasn't trying to be a dick. Hang on.
Well, what?
Let's pick up where we left off at the party.
Well, let's start here. What exactly do you want from me?
I want you to vote in favor of selling fuel to the Republic.
You want them to refuel? I don't know what your game is, but I don't need to. You know how this works. You do a little something for me first, and I'll consider it.
What did you have in mind?
You know that slimy little Rodian, Vic? Runs a smuggling crew? He's been raising prices on me, and I'm sick of it. Profits are thin enough without that bug-eyed scammer butting in. I want him and his bodyguards dead. No witnesses, no chance the Darmander catches the blame. I know the guy who's next in line. Done business together. He'll hire some of my guys as bodyguards, and I'll be in a nice spot. So, there it is. Take out Vic, and the vote's yours.
Okay.
You can count on me. Veek is as good as dead.
Take this communicator and get somewhere out of the way. Buzz Vic with it, and he'll think Hutbreaker's calling for him. Use it to call me when the job's done. Once I see it with my own eyes, we'll be golden.
Yeah, that sounds honestly really, really inefficient. Come. Oh, now we're back at the auction hall. Oh, that stutter. Oh, stutter. Game. Ah. Oh my god, that is awful stutter. Why is this down here?
Ready for departure.
Yeah, I hate this song. I hate this song with every fiber of my being. Not because it's a bad song or because it's inappropriate or because it didn't work, but because I actually sat here for a very long time. Not only trying to get the Magicite, but a couple of the relics are worth getting multiples of. Hero rings especially.
You're good to go.
And I may have thought I could actually get the super rare items back in the day. So I heard this song over and over and over. What's funny is nowadays I actually understand how the RNG works on that stupid thing, so I can manipulate it better. But as a kid, all I can do is run the auction house. Ho ho ho! There's nothing I can't buy! I feel like it wants me to go to this green circle. I don't know why, it's just a hunch. Okay, so now we're in mission mode. We gotta switch playlists here.
Mitisa roda, kopana cha porco utman gisa?
It's an ambush. It's an ambush. Get me out of here. Naturally, I'm just gonna let them run because I'm stupid. Or maybe I'm not gonna let them run. Wow. This is really funny.
Nobody better mess with us now.
Okay, your boss is dead. I'll let you guys live if you back off. If you back off. Yeah, you could get a permanent chocobo too, Kay. And that allows you to get to the secret island you can only reach with that chocobo. And that's where General Leo's hiding. You know what irritated me with FF6 specifically? No, FF6 came out late enough that most kids who've been playing games for a while were well aware of the false rumors cycle that, you know, video games go through. Because those have been around since the NES era. So I was telling a friend of mine that I saw Kefka reduce all of my health to 1 as like some kind of an attack, and my friend didn't believe me because he thought I was making that up.
Job's done. Good. The boat's yours. Good luck with your war.
It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Likewise.
Oh, I haven't seen that button in a long time. This really is vanilla.
Commander, am I interrupting anything?
I just finished convincing Indigo to support our plan. What do you need?
Perfect. Remember when I mentioned that hit and run on Jot's territory earlier? Well, I've got my squad ready to move. Last thing we need is you.
What do you mean?
Jot's crew handles maintenance for everything in the station, including the failsafe system that roasts the fuel. He'll have a schematic for the failsafe on his computers. We need that data so we can modify the system to juice it up like the boss wants. My team hits Jot's place first, so he thinks pirates are trying to run off with some of his repair droids. While he's out chasing us around, you sneak into his HQ and grab the data. Sound good?
Send me the coordinates and I'll make my way there.
You got it. Before we dive into this op, I have to tell you, I feel like Valron's playing games here. Treating those creep slavers like they actually matter. Hell, playing nice with any of the locals. Boss's eyes are on more than just the mission, I'm sure of it.
You were a slave once. How do you feel about slavery in the Empire?
Being a slave was horrible, but it motivated me to be the best, to make myself more.
That's not...
That's what the Empire's all about, isn't it? Still, if things had been different, I could have got a lot more years soldiering in. Probably a lot of good soldiers died working in a mine or something, before they got their chance to really make a difference.
These are three interesting choices. One of them is slavery is wrong, which is true. One of them is slavery is inefficient, which is true. And the third one is slavery is necessary, which is not true.
Slavery is cruel and destructive. The Empire would be better off without it.
Sometimes you have to be cruel to get things done the best they can be done. But I wouldn't mind seeing a bit more brains put to it. Alright, I've burned enough of your time. I'll move my people into position and we'll be ready to start when you are. Amory out.
Speaking of Mandalorians, have you seen the show, Dark Day? I haven't. Just curious what you thought of it. Yeah, I've noticed that, Crazy Norse. Like I said, it's like the writers were dipping their toes into acknowledging just how bad things are for the Empire and the Alliance and the Republic.
Ready for departure.
I guess since they're not in mission anymore, let's go back to the town music. I don't know, Sabotage.
You're good to go.
So WoW, which I never talk about during these streams, has something called Wowhead, which has an inordinate amount of information on every tiny little detail in the game. Basically, no other MMO has that. So I'm not sure if Tor has something that literally shows other dialogue options, or all the dialogue options possible for a given quest. You heard it here. Kay is in favor of slavery. So let's see. How do we kill Kay to make up for his grievous lack of morality? It's a lot of combat I'm missing, which I'm very happy about. Ooh. Enslave you to death. Yeah, no, that was a pretty normal thing. Hold on a second.
You're good to go.
You're welcome.
Ready to start the diversion, boss. Let's make this quick.
What? Okay, but I can't... here we go.
What in the... Nova Braids again?
Thought me and my droids taught you a lesson last time.
Of course they scan.
What boss, Commander?
All better.
Oh, let's hit the question queue. What do we got in the question queue? Let's see. Who's less of a superpower? Reps and Imps, or Alliance and Horde? Hang on, Vet's dying. Holy crap. Crap.
I need help.
Yeah, I know, it's because they can detect invisibles, and so we triple pulled. Or double pulled, I'm not sure which. Why does Star Wars have slavery? What did introduce slavery to Star Wars? Yeah, because A New Hope, there's no slavery. Empire, there's no slavery. Return, there's Jabba. Although even that's... like, that's messed up and horrible, but that's not the type of slavery that we're talking about. Certainly not the scale that we're talking about. Yeah, Phantom Menace is the first one that really started talking about slavery on a large scale. But, excuse me. It's the first one I can think of. It's not actually the first one. There has to have been something in between Return and Episode 1. I don't remember slavery being a thing in the Thrawn trilogy. Very appropriate music for this. I guess there is the Nogri, that's true. Although that's worse than slavery in several ways. And that still doesn't hit the scale of slavery that I'm talking about. So we go from Jabba and his personal slaves, the Nogri and their cultural enslavement. We move past the Nogri. What's after that? Where did slavery become? Because slavery is an everyday, commonplace institution in Star Wars. Now. I'm trying to figure out when that really hit. Unless the answer really is Episode 1, in which case, that's the answer. Aw. Yeah. What the hell is Han Solo's revenge? And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the comics. What the hell is Han Solo's revenge? Han Solo's revenge. Oh, I remember these. Oh god, I've only read these like once ever. Yeah, this is early on. Interesting.
Having fun with my security upgrades? I did them up special, just for you.
And yeah.
Henry, I'm downloading the failsafe schematics now.
Copy that. Think we finally have the old fool locked down. Gonna snag some droids and make our getaway before he gets loose again. Henry out.
I wonder.
Running off, eh? I'm not done with you. Deploy the big fellas. All of them.
Hold on. Sorry. I wonder, so there were the series of books. It was the Han Solo trilogy, and there was a Lando one as well. And I wonder if those are when the corporate sector was invented, too. Remember that? It wasn't featured in a lot of stuff, and I think it's actually been ejected as of the AU. But part of the reason I'm familiar with the corporate sector is me and several of my friends of mine were doing a cooperative, collaborative fanfic set within the corporate sector. As some post-Imperial people were trying to make do with what they could, where they could. When the hell is the CSA even mentioned in the AU? Like not that I disbelieve you, I'm just curious. It's like it's also, I think it should have been shrunk too. Let's see here. Rogue One, Harkin. It was apparently in episode 8. Sure. Was that Planet Side Quest? Was that in the corporate sector? Huh. So, in both continuities, it's barely there. Go figure, right? I should stop listening to FF6 music. Let's see here. What? It's Planet Side Quest. I don't know its frickin' name. Hang on.
Thanks to your impressive efforts, the vote has gone as we intended. Mek-Sha will sell fuel to the Republic. Their ships are preparing to dock now.
All without the slightest idea of our true plans. Well done. We can begin our attack as soon as their ships are locked in.
I've gone over the failsafe schematics with my boys. We'll break into the maintenance shafts and hit the 4 main emitters all at once. Someone else will have to throw the big switch, though. Can't activate the failsafe from inside. Has to be done from the dock's control center.
Leave that to me.
We're of the same mind. Excellent. Before you begin, I will load the remainder of our troops into assault shuttles and make a diversionary strike on the docks themselves. That should serve to distract the bulk of their defenders. Still, do be careful as you approach the failsafe controls, darling.
I'm not your darling. Give it up.
We'll see. Oh, to see their ships gutted by the very fuel that they were so desperate to acquire. This will be a glorious day for the Empire.
A day to be exceeded only by our forthcoming victory on Corellia. Now then, everyone to your tasks. Take no prisoners, and above all else, enjoy yourselves.
Listen, Space Cadet.
You're good to go.
I'm pretty sure the Klingons would stomp the crap out of the Sith. Among other things, they have functional cloaks. They're also substantially larger. More resources, more manpower, more ships, more everything. And they're, about as stupid. Oh yeah, they are much better singers, that's true. Das Gu von Dalia. Bihinost contare. It really is Space Cadet. On a Duras, he would be like, ah, listen, I'll betray the entire Empire if you give me 1/4. They give him 1/4. I hate the Duras family.
We're under attack! Squads 3 and 9 reinforce the maintenance entrances!
Of course, there's nothing but sensor droids. You see? Oh my god, they're everywhere! There's a sweep of sensor droids. There are 5 sensor droids. There's more than 5. They're everywhere. Holy crap. Okay, hang on. Let me just kind of slip over here and then do this. Nope. And we're detected.
Nobody better mess
God
with us.
damn it! Orc Jedi. Which type of orc? Because there's several orcs. There are many orcs in the universe. An orky Jedi. I mean, the orcs are already Jedi, if you think about it.
Defensive positions. You've got this.
Okay, I'll just kill you because you saw me, because screw stealth! I'm not gonna stop trying, game. Warcraft orcs. Well, I mean, yeah, I can see that easily. They grab this giant, like, gauntlet fist thing, and then, like, a lightsaber comes out straight ahead. If they clench it a different way, they could have 2 more come out, so they just have 3, like a tri-prong lightsaber thing. I haven't played it myself, Gum Gum. I have seen it in action. It is amusing. Am I done killing you people? Oh no, so what would happen is the Federation would say, we don't want to fight the Sith. And the Sith would say, you're right. We don't want to fight you either. Then the Sith would kill the delegates and be like, Mwahahaha. So then the Federation would send more delegates, and the Sith would be confused by that. And say, we just killed your delegates. The Federation's like, yes, but we're committed to peace. And the Sith is like, we're not. The Federation's like, don't worry. I'm sure we can come to a common ground. Sit down with them. And it's like, but... Okay. So they'd kill those delegates, and then they'd send more delegates. And by this point, the Sith are just like... Okay.
All better.
Let's attack a Federation fleet so they get pasted. And then after that, they're just absolutely curb stomped. The Federation contacts them without killing them and says, "Hey, we'd like to send some delegates." And they're like, "What's going on here? I don't understand." And it would break their brains. They would not know how to deal with the Federation. And the best part is the Feds aren't even doing that purposefully. It's just kind of how they are.
If I die,
And they've just got a limitless supply of delegates ready to go. Resistance is futile. Thank you, Gold Tech. This music is perfect for this. Thank you, Gold Tech. Much appreciate. You're wrong, Kay. The Federation is actually more treaty happy in DS9 than they are in TNG. Oh my god, they're so treaty happy. It's ridiculous. I mean, ignoring how long they took to actually commit to war against an organization that had literally tried to destroy an entire star system, which was inhabited at the time. I guess I have to kill these people. Alright, whatever. But... oh, god damn it, whatever. Like, several times throughout the war, people in charge constantly were talking about, not about winning the war, not about defeating the Dominion, but they constantly bring up the idea of trying to bring the Dominion to the table. And the Dominion actually uses that against them several times because they're so eager to negotiate. God, it's hysterical. Why am I even trying at this point? Well, damn it, Kay, no! No! You found my weakness. My one weakness. Oh my god. You know what's funny, Dark Day? I didn't remember how bad that episode was. Because I hadn't watched it in forever. I think I mentioned that in the video. I don't know. I recorded that literally 2 years ago. But, you know, going back through it, it was just like, what is this nonsense? And I got angry. Like, the episode pissed me off, and I realized that I was, like, at the halfway point, and the episode still hadn't resolved its quote-unquote primary plot point. I'm like, what is going on with this crap?
They're so proud. precious when they're scrambling, aren't they? Their defenses have rallied at the tower. A minor nuisance for you, I'm sure.
Hang on, let me actually try and get some high intensity music here instead of this. Oh, I have to kill this guy. Gosh darn it! At least I can stealth my way partially. The Orcs would hate fighting the Federation, though. It just wouldn't be fun. All they want to do is talk, talk, talk. Ah, gabbing their gobs off.
Quickly, the failsafe is near.
Well, congratulations, Django. We're done with Onderon. We finished that earlier today. We're on Mek-Sha. After this is something called... it's a story flashpoint. Then there's a patch called Echoes of Oblivion, and then there's 2 more story points, and then we're done with Onslaught. We will probably get done today, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Why did I say that? I just cursed myself. I mean, that's the ultimate writing.
Waiting for this, Imperial. Your plan ends here.
Sure. That's the ultimate narrative cheat, isn't it? Like, in all the versus discussions, we all have to assume that the Federation can't just tech their way out of the situation. Because if the Federation fought the Orcs in an episode of Star Trek, then they'd come up with a quantum particle beam which can redirect the bipolar neurons to re-neutrinonize the temporal wavelengths in order to destabilize all Cystian-based life forms in a manner that would redirect them into a more pacifistic nature. And that's just cheating. And it is. Let's just call it what it is. Occasionally Star Trek is actually clever and actually comes up with a think around your opponent solution. The rest of the time it's bullcrap.
No! This isn't over.
Actually, it is. Yeah, we gotta do asymptomatic tilling.
Emitters have all been modified. We're ready. Perfect. Activate the failsafe.
And then they send delegates. Oh, sorry. Oh, hey, I cannot be evil. Done. I can't believe they even gave me that option.
Firing now.
I told Theron I'm not out to wipe out the Republic, and I frickin' meant it, okay?
The console shows that all fuel has been neutralized, but there isn't enough power to ignite it.
It's disappointing. But the task is done. Those ships aren't going anywhere. All forces return to base.
You made an all-out military assault on my docks! Mek-Sha isn't Imperial territory. You don't get to ignore my rules!
It is true that our forces attacked their ships, as they do in all corners of the galaxy. But it was your council that voted to put them in that position.
And it was your weapon that disabled their ships.
No! They'll never think
that we have been working together since the beginning. That is exactly what they'll think. Why else would you be meeting us now?
You have made an enemy of the Republic. Your neutrality will be...
Okay, that's actually clever.
But you are not alone in these trying times. Your affiliation with the Empire will gradually strengthen over time. I believe you could become our key refueling station in this sector, if you learn to behave.
Taking over the station wasn't our mission here.
Not our only mission, perhaps. But the Empire's logistical structure doesn't expand itself. A small deployment of troops, perhaps a warship or two. and we'll gain years of smooth and reliable operations in this sector.
The option there is to kill Shar and Valron. Underneath the rotting pizza, FF7R1 pancakes. The weird thing is that's a dark side option, even though that feels like a sabotage option. Thoughts? If it was to kill her, I would have already picked it. I wouldn't even hesitated. But I like Valron. Like, he's been legit since vanilla. And no reason's given, either, for why we're doing them. I am not a Sith, Chongo. God damn it, game. I'm gonna try and Google this. I'm curious. Probably gonna find... Yeah, here we go. Reddit. As I say, I'm not gonna find anything else. Apparently, a lot of the sabotage options in general are dark side, which is interesting. The option 1 is, yes, I agree with you completely, and option 2 is, fine, whatever. Ugh, fine. I will not kill Valron.
It makes no difference to me. Do as you wish.
I always do. You may go now.
I'm sorry, what?
Valron, Shah, report.
The Republic fleet was completely disabled. They will not reach Corellia in time to interfere.
Then your mission is complete. Prepare to extract all forces. With no further Republic reinforcements to contend with, our victory on Corellia is all but guaranteed. I'm transmitting coordinates now. We will meet to discuss our strategy for the attack immediately. Malgus out.
Watching you work has been as delightful as ever. I shall look forward to our next opportunity to collaborate, as always. Farewell.
You're welcome for letting you live.
My lords. Orders just came through. Looks like I'm backing you up on Corellia. Heard they have good whiskey.
Oh, they
Try
do.
and grab some.
Don't bother. Calcinor's blends are just as good, and much simpler to find in Imperial space.
Maybe so. But you know what they say about a looted bottle?
The truest taste of victory. Oh, I like this one.
I've enjoyed working with her so far. Major Anri, this is Lana Beniko.
Charmed.
Hey, I saw the Sith leave. Am I clear to come in now?
One of yours?
Most of the time.
Are we good to go or what? This is not the best neighborhood.
Lead the way.
Yes, he is, Dark Day. He even comments on it if you did the dungeon, which we did. Alright, let's go to Corellia. God's gift to terror. What the... Like, you like Corellia, right? Right? They haven't explained how he lived yet, and I doubt they ever will.
Commander, everyone else is with the fleet en route. Save the Empress, of course. She's back on Dromund Cass. I'll connect us.
Commander, I'm pleased to see you again. I am gratified that my Dark Council has worked alongside you so efficiently. Such productive cooperation is crucial to our Empire's future.
Your successes against the Republic reinforcements have all but guaranteed our victory on Corellia. But we must not become overconfident.
Walk me through your plan for the battle.
Given that the enemy is unaware of the details of our strategy, their fleets will assume a flexible defensive formation in geosynchronous orbit above the Meridian complex shipyard. Contrary to their expectations, I will take most of our ships to the far side of Corellia, forcing at least some of their vessels to break formation and engage us.
And how will you ensure that the enemy chases you?
Indiscriminate bombardment of the planet's surface. Cities, industrial centers, resource caches. We will be impossible to ignore.
We cannot massacre civilians purely as a diversion.
We certainly can.
Regardless, civilians are not a resource our enemy is short on. But Corellia is full of others they can hardly afford to lose. Focus your attacks accordingly.
As you wish. We will target industrial facilities, resource caches, and other strategic assets to draw the enemy away from the shipyard.
With their formation broken, our technological advantages will allow us to punch through the remaining defenders and conduct a surface assault on the complex. The last of our dreadnoughts equipped with Isotope 5 reactors will escort the ground assault force through the enemy's blockade. Meanwhile, the silencers commanded by Moff Pyron will destroy any Republic capital ships that attempt to interfere.
We have silencers?
Harrower dreadnoughts, modified to carry state-of-the-art mega-laser main cannons. They can destroy enemy capital ships in a single shot.
We still have silencers?
We will attack the Meridian complex from multiple directions, seize its control center, and disable the shields protecting it from orbital bombardment.
From there, our ships reduce the complex to slag, and the Republic's best hope for victory crumbles into dust.
An impressive and well-conceived plan. But what role will the Alliance and its incomparable commander play?
The silencers are vulnerable to starfighter attack. With the Alliance fleet to escort them, that risk is all but nullified.
As for the commander, I would welcome such a deadly ally in my surface attack group.
It will be an honor to fight with you, as always, Malgus.
Together, we will be unstoppable. Rendezvous with these coordinates. Our attack begins as soon as you arrive, Commander.
Let our enemies remember why they fear the power of the Sith Empire. Let the entire galaxy know our strength.
My boys have a ship fueled and ready for us. They're practically drooling. Most of them have never seen a battle this big. They'll be competing for the most kills. Care to join the pool? Winner takes any interesting gear or other goodies we managed to plunder on the way out.
I'd rather win some time alone with you.
My time's not something you win. Besides,
good
once
answer.
we hit the surface and dropped everyone who gets in our way, it'll just be the two of us, right? Shall we?
Commander, proceed to these coordinates to join our assault formation.
All ships are in position and report ready.
Let the battle begin.
Yeah, mine too, Savicom. Yeah, I noticed that, Django.
Proceeding with bombardment. Targeting infrastructure and industrial objectives only.
Thank you. I was actually just waiting for her to betray me at the last second.
Move to your designated firing points. Surface attack group, advance.
Isotope 5 generators at maximum output. Engines at 322%, shields at 563%.
Energy levels like that, flying this close together, our little ships will never even show up on their scopes. We're all but invisible.
They're concentrating fire! Trying to pick us off one by one!
Ignore them. Maintain course and speed.
Shields! Failing!
We have breached the Republic's defensive line.
All ships, break formation. Scatter!
They can't shoot at us now. If they miss, they'll hit their own people on the surface.
Malgus and Krovos have outdone themselves.
Let's hope the rest goes so smooth.
Surface attack group, proceed to your landing coordinates. The final phase of the battle is about to begin.
The final battle. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh, sorry.
There are more ground cannons than anticipated. All shuttles, proceed to secondary drop zones.
Squad, you're watching our backs. Republic's gonna send everyone they've got to reinforce this shipyard, so be ready to rack up some big kill counts. Contest starts now. A point for every kill. Officers are 5, vehicles and Jedi count for 10. And if you die, you're out. So don't get reckless out there. Understood?
We won't let you down, Major.
You never do. Hop to it. Ready, Commander?
Yeah, I guess.
Let's tear down a shipyard.
Incoming!
Well then, I suppose we'll have to do what we do best. God, no, Gum. First of all, what the hell is Star Trek brandy?
Artillery incoming!
Like, what defines it as Star Trek? Second of all, it's alcohol. Third of all, it's brandy. Fourth of all, no. Fifth of all, it's too expensive.
Aye, aye.
You okay back there, Henri? Just wondering. Yeah, Corellian looks better than it did last time. Not that that would take much.
Push up! We need to get off this beach. We're sitting banthas out here.
Tell you what, if I want to get some brandy, I'll go find the local liquor store, which I don't even know where it is. Say, hey, brandy. And I'll guzzle it on camera, get demonetized. You know what's ironic is I can't stand Canada Dry's ginger ale.
Wish we could hit Axial Park while we're here. Bet I could find some nice cuttings for my garden.
Okay, can't stand might be a bit of an overstatement, but it makes me feel vaguely nauseous. That's true, Savika. You are correct. God. I had to give the...
You're approaching the main Republic defensive line. Be prepared for heavy resistance.
I don't know, Andrew. I had to give the trading money for loyalty speech to the Rents while they were visiting. Because they were asking, you know, I made an idle comment that I could be making more money than I do right now. And they said, well, why don't you? And I was like, well, because I'm not an idiot. That was my break. You're funny, Triaxia. What kind of Canada Dry do I usually have? I don't, because they don't sell it here anymore. But I drink seltzer water. Like this. I know it's in a tumbler, but this is seltzer water. This is like 90% of what I drink nowadays. The other 10% is tea. Nothing good, Sabacom. That's a good question, Act. Who knows? I mean, they said a lot of really unpleasant stuff. It became a regular tradition when I would get home in the evening that I would, you know, I'd be hanging out with Pax online. And I would just rant to them for like 30 minutes about what they pissed me off about that particular day as a way to vent. It's like, okay, we're done. Moving on. Well, Mum is better? I think we'll go with better. Where is Henri? Where is my healer? Oh my god. Heal me, please. Henri? Oh my god, she's up there. She's right there. Now she's right there. I don't know how that worked. And I must be evil, because the crazy Norseman told me to. And that's what I'm going to tell the courts. A crazy Norse said so. Of course, Sabacom. I mean, hell, if you remember, the whole reason that money is not the only factor when it comes to funding a run was to allow people who don't have that much money to be able to still have an influence on what we stream, and to not slant things so hard that only the people who can afford to donate large sums to the show decide everything we stream, right? The whole point behind that entire system was to prevent that kind of power focus, I don't know what else to call it, on the people who had the resources. As I've said for many, many years, even if, you know, rich people aren't evil and greedy and stupid, even if they're just normal people, they will always, always have more resources and therefore logically and mathematically have more capacity to decide or change or fix or do than a normal person like you or me can. It's inevitable. It's math. I mean, even on the most basic fundamental level, if you decide, I want to try something risky, like, you know, starting your own job, or switching to a new career path or whatever, that's a dangerous thing for you to do because you don't have the backing if it goes bad. But someone who's already wealthy, they can do whatever the hell they want to, within reason. Because it's not as much of a risk for them. It's not a catastrophic loss if it fails. Again, and this is if you remove things like greed and stupidity from the equation. So, yeah, no, sorry, I didn't mean to get off topic there. Point is, there are reasons why I decided to go ahead and try and remove some of that inherent mathematical bias towards money with regards to funding. I still need money to live because, you know, that's how life works. But I'd rather not just have, you know, 5 people, you know, the 20% decide everything we stream. I'm confused as hell, Chongo. Like, this feels like such a weird route that I'm having trouble predicting where we're going in the broad sense, narratively speaking. In a normal video game, or even a movie, or a book or something like that, this would be the build-up to the reveal of the big enemy that's actually the third power, right? Like, you have the GDI and the nod, and they're like, we're gonna kill you. And then all of a sudden the Skrin show up, right? This feels like that. And I don't think it is. And that's the problem. I think this is literally just... we're spinning our wheels at this point. I think we are at the status quo. Or yeah, or the Forgotten. And now we're just sitting here. And I'm not... and I'm confused. Like I said. We'll see. I am quite curious to see where this is going. Like I said, I'm completely off the map at this point. I don't know anything from this point onwards. Like, not even a tidbit. So... yeah, they already did that. You're right, with the Eternal Empire. Hi, Mr. I like how Mr. Red pops in like, hey, okay, bye, I'm gonna go play more Lotro. By the way, for anybody interested in playing Lotro, there is a deal right now where if you pop in and put in a code, which I'll have to look up, you gain access to almost all the quest packs in the game. Now, what that means, Lotra's monetization is terrible for a lot of reasons, but one of the things they do that pisses me off the most is you have to buy quests, like, as a bundle. You buy a zone's side quest, or you buy, you know, a particular storyline, and you buy each of those individually. Right now, and I believe for the next week or so, you can put in a code to get almost all the quests in the game for free. You know, how it should be. So, FYI, thank you, Mr. Red. Free quests 2022. All caps. One word. So for anybody interested in trying out Lotro, this is a good time to do so because of that. Because you can bypass that garbage store, which can go screw itself. Now, that being said, I actually installed Lotro recently, and by recently I mean yesterday, to go ahead and punch in that code myself, because there was quite a few quests I didn't know.
You're near the industrial monorail that services the Spire. If it is still operational, it will be the fastest way inside.
Oh, wow. That's a sight. That being said, I think I will still veto... yes, Lotro stands for Lord of the Rings Online. I will still veto any possibility of a Lotro run. If you think Tor is grindy, please remember that we have had groups of people kill squatting for us. We have stealthed past huge slogs of encounters. You know, we have done a huge number of things to massively race past the slog of this game. There are no such shortcuts in Lotro. It's just slog all the way down. That would be one of the most boring streams I could possibly do. So no. It remains vetoed. What do you think the Tor run's been, Savacom? It's a good time for questions.
The force into you. Let it rejuvenate you.
Sure. Okay, so what CNC franchise would I like to make a new game of? Red Alert, Tiberium, or General? Honestly, Generals had a lot of potential that they didn't really do much of. So, by sheer virtue of wanting moritude, I'd go with Generals, I think. I think they can do a lot with that.
I'm channeling the force into you. Let it rejuvenate you.
Let's see. Is there anyone in the extant that is a true post-scarcity society? No. Have I seen the Mario trailer? Yes. Have I heard the trailer's French dub? No. Is it better than Chris Pratt without even having listened to it? Yes. Let's see here. Space Cadet asks a very fascinating and interesting question. Am I right, Space Cadet says, am I right in assuming that the only MMO that's had the guts to officially end the faction conflict is STO. To my knowledge, yes. Other MMOs have dipped their toes into it. WoW is currently trying to fix that problem and doing it an extremely slow, like, threadbare, barely method. FF14 never had factions. Everyone did that. Core is sticking with it like it's a dying lifeline. So yeah, I believe STO is the only one that really just looked at the faction conflict and threw it out the damn window. Now, that has still led to some issues, as we've discussed. The entirety of the Klingon Civil War arc literally makes no sense if we're playing a Federation character, as I showed off many times. Go down the list here. I wasn't going to say anything about ESO because I'm not sure about that. I know ESO started with factions, but at the same time, I'm not sure how much of a faction content thing that is. Or if it was just a PvP thing. I don't know. Like, Guild Wars 2 has factions, but not really, right? That's just part of the world versus world thing. So, I'm not sure what's going on with ESO. I think Bowser, I think I do a better voice of Bowser than Jack Black. But I also think that he does a decent job, and I think the Bowser section was probably the more amusing of the two sections of the trailer. Is there any instance in which faction conflict has been used to good effect purely on gameplay? In an MMO? No. Well, hold on. Gotta disagree with myself. As I've said before, the way that faction conflict works is if you really focus and center your entire game around it, a la Lineage 2. So in purely faction-based, purely PvP-oriented games, yes, factions have been used to good effect. I had to correct myself there. Let's see. Questions. Scroll up a little bit here. I already answered that one. Already answered that one. Already answered that one. Already answered that one. Also Eve. But Eve is... I wasn't even going to mention Eve, because Eve is pretty unique. Excuse me! Oh my gosh. I swear I slept last night. You ever heard of a... what do they call it? Thought vampire? Mental vampire? It's a real-life concept, not a fictional one. Anyways, that's why I'm tired. That's all I was going to say about that. That looks like a boss arena. Lotra's biggest flaw, other than the store and the travel time. The slog. The slog. The slog is slog. Like, I could go into specifics about how Lotra is sloggy as crap, and how it gets more sloggy the further into it you get. But everything about Lotro is padded. Everything. That being said, Lotro continues to be the source of many great ideas. Did you know that you don't have to loot in Lotro? It just auto... That was strange. Auto AoE loots for you. They added that during the Rohan expansion when they added mounted combat. By the way, they have mounted combat in Lotro. It's actually pretty cool. But you don't have to click anything. It's just loot is beamed into your inventory the second you kill something. It's great. I love it. That's not a joke. It's a great feature. More games need that. How does the Empire go about freedom of speech? So, rather than even trying to define freedom of speech, or have a rule about that, because that's stupid. Instead, it's more like you're free to talk about whatever, not legally protected. Instead, it's more like there are legal protections against, or rather, in favor of... I'm saying this wrong. There's legal consequences. There is no freedom from consequences. It's basically exactly how freedom of speech should be applied in real life, and often is, if I might be bold. The infamous example of yelling fire in a theater is a valid one, but that's really what it boils down to. You're free to say whatever the hell you want to. Nothing legally prevents you or even allows you to say whatever you want to. It's more like you are legally bound to the consequences. God dang it, this stupid place. Consequences of whatever you say. Lotro's best aspect on story and a gameplay axis. So the book quests are amazing, obviously, and a lot of the story in Lotro is fantastic. But this is a spoiler, Mr. Red. It's a minor spoiler, but it is a spoiler, so if you want to mute me for a second, go for it.
Hands up!
My favorite tidbit. Hands up, Mr. Red. Excuse me. There's this tidbit. It's pretty far into the game, relatively speaking. And so the main plot of Vanilla Lotro is actually quite good. Because the Fellowship essentially hasn't even really gotten going yet, right? So most of Vanilla Lotro, the Fellowship is on their way to Rivendell. That's the timeline, right? And everyone agrees they need to have time to go do their thing. So we're dealing with everything else. And it's mostly local stuff, but there's just brush fires and warlords and evil spirits, and there's this frickin' cave troll which is causing issues, and yada 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 yada. And so we go deal with everything else, right? Now that's amazing. It's my favorite aspect about Lotro as a whole, but I promised you a specific scene. There's this one scene where Elrond is concerned and he's not sure what to do about a certain situation, which I will not spoil. So he calls us and says, "Hey, could you give me your input on this? I'd like your consult on this." And so we go and help Elrond and consult with him about how best to keep the enemy's eyes off of the ring bearer. Kinda, yeah, Retu. And it's great the way they do it. And then we hit Moria, which is just amazing. Best expansion in Lotro by far. Gameplay-wise, gosh, that's a good question. That's a much harder question. What do I like gameplay-wise about Lotro that isn't just a base mechanic thing like looting or, you know, the transmog system? Alright, so there used to be a system called traits. Now, it technically still exists, but functionally it doesn't. The way it used to work is quests and achievements would give you a rank up in a specific trait. And each trait gives you stats. And you would have to sit down and decide, these are the traits I value as this particular spec that I am. So you'd go and, you know, figure out which traits you wanted and go do those achievements in order to raise up that thing. That kind of sucked. Mostly because it was sloggy as hell. But they've streamlined that a little bit sometime since in the last 7 years since I played. Because now, instead, you slot in your traits and you just get virtue experience now, is what they call it. You've probably already looked into this, Mr. Red. And so you slot in the ones you want, and stuff you do just gives you virtue experience, and you just say, I want to raise that specific trait with my current virtue experience, and you can raise them up and all that stuff. Pax and I both thought it was funny, because we're like level 50 in most of those traits just by virtue of having played the game so much. Except for wit, which is a brand new virtue. They never actually had it before. So both of our wit is 0.
Hands up!
Don't shoot! I'm a pacifist.
Who are you?
I'm Theron Cedrax. Obviously. Preeminent expert in exotechnology and senior design engineer for this facility.
Theron, huh? Don't you have a buddy named Theron?
Another Theron? He probably spells it the stupid way. Presumably, you're here to seize control of the facility? Or perhaps to sabotage the defensive systems?
Good guess. You're smarter than you seem.
I can assure you it would be impossible to seem as smart as I am. I would love to make a grand speech about never giving up and choosing death over dishonor, but the truth is, the situation is out of my hands. All defensive systems, shields, anti-aircraft guns, and so on, have been transferred to the secondary control station near the top of the spire. All of this equipment is useless now. So there's really nothing to be accomplished here, and nothing I can help you with.
Commander.
Apparently the shield controls have been transferred to another control center higher up in the spire.
Is that so?
None of the computers will respond, my lord, and I'm seeing some lightsaber burns over here.
That was the Jedi, Tau Adair. She's commanding the last of the facility's guards. She severed the connection as soon as control was transferred, then headed upstairs.
Then we have our target. Commander, on Ossus, we united our strength to crush the Jedi who tried to oppose the Empire. It's time we repeated that triumph. Join me, and together we will win a victory for the Empire that will change the course of the galaxy forever.
We can flirt. I'm sorry. Hold up. We can flirt with Malgus. I should remind those of you in chat, he legitimately loved his wife, which is why he murdered her. No, seriously, she was being used as a tool against him because he legitimately cared about her. So her death had to happen because he's a moron. I mean a Sith, excuse me, a Sith. You cannot flirt in Lord of the Rings online, Mr. Red, but they can flirt with you, and that's actually all I'm going to tell you about that right now. You'll see. Sure.
Oh, Malgus. You almost make it sound romantic.
Major, hold this position, no matter the cost.
Good reaction.
Yes, my lord. And what about him?
The scientist who built this facility could be very useful. We should keep him alive.
Whatever you say.
I should have stayed on Nar Shaddaa.
We'll keep you covered. Good luck up there.
If you want to play Lotro, now's the chance. But it's a very slow, very sloggy, very boring game, Holtbolt. The story is very good, though. Make of that what you will. It's also pretty, even by today's standards. At least I think so.
Hold it! Oh, no.
Hi.
Steady. Fear is a deadly weapon, but only if you let them have it.
I was hoping we'd run into each other again, Jedi.
We've got your back, Tau.
Fools. Not one of you could hope to defeat us.
You're not fighting one of us.
You're fighting 3 of us. No, 5.
You're fighting all of us.
Then you will all
5
die.
Of you. Do you know who I am? Okay, now there's 6. Wait, nope, now there's 7. Oh my god, they keep multiplying in front of my very eyes. This is just confusing. Alright, whatever, die.
We will stop you, here and now.
Hi, Dream Whisperer. Alright, so now I'm fighting one of you. At some point, you're gonna have to actually start fighting back. It's just gonna seem like you're, turning traitor. Imagine. A scandal. A Jedi who betrays them to the dark side. It's never happened before. So, Holtbolt, if you go... Okay. If you go, yeah, thank you. If you go to try Lotro right now, so Lotro's in-game store sucks, right? Like, it sucks balls. But if you put in the code FreeQuests 2022, the problem was I didn't realize that the blue thing was hers as opposed to Maldus's. That's what I'm on. Anyways, use that code, and what that will do is that will give you most of the quests in the game. Now, if you don't understand, you have to buy quests, as bundles in Lotro because the in-game store sucks. So, yeah, that's hers apparently. Just stand here. No, wasting my time, lady. Nope. Oh, there's more of these. Wow, you're just that's your shtick apparently. Anyways, put in that code, FreeQuests 2022. So once you fire up the game, fire up the store, type in or go to the redeem code option. I don't know where it is off the top of my head. Type in the code and it'll be like, you have unlocked these like 30 quest bundles. And then you're good.
They can't beat us when we stand together!
Where did you guys come from?
They can't beat us when we stand together! Attack as one! We can win!
And she's dead.
You are beaten. Your shipyard will be obliterated. Your republic will crumble. And your fellow Jedi will be hunted to extinction. Your destruction is inevitable.
As inevitable as gravity!
That's not as good of a line as you think it is. Now, normally I'd stop that with, like, the Force or something, but I'm a smuggler. And normally I'd pull myself up, but I'm a smuggler.
Catastrophic structural damage detected. Evacuation protocols recommended.
I'm disabling the shields now.
Warning. Defensive shields have been disabled. Warning.
Now I'm picturing Furtmaster trying to drag
Raven to
himself
command. The shields are down. We're evacuating now.
All ships, target the Meridian complex. Fire! Objective complete. All forces regroup and evacuate to RV Point Orek.
We did it. So, race doesn't matter, Holtbolt. Play whatever you want to, as long as they have access to the class you want. I recommend starting with a Minstrel or a Guardian. I don't know the new classes, so I can't speak to them. There's like 3, and I haven't played any of them. But both Minstrel and Guardian are very good solo classes. You can also play Warden. Excuse me, that's another one.
Commander, allow me to congratulate you on a job well done. Your victory on Corellia is an incomparable testament to your value as an ally of the Empire. Rumors suggest great things are soon to come for you. Do enjoy. Any rewards are well earned.
What kind of rumors? What are you talking about?
I can say no more. Farewell, Commander.
It was skillfully done, to be sure. You truly embody the finest aspects of the Sith doctrine.
Coordination and focus gave us this victory. When we fight as one united empire, we cannot fail.
Do not forget, our unity extended beyond even our own empire. Commander, You are a welcome sight. Do join us.
With their shipyard destroyed, the Republic has already retreated from countless worlds.
We've been watching in real time. Terribly entertaining.
I will develop plans to extend our lines and claim the most valuable of these territories in a matter of weeks.
A shame that Malgus couldn't enjoy the fruits of his efforts.
His recovery will take some time, but rest assured he will return to the fold soon enough.
Wonderful.
Victory over our ancient enemies grows closer by the minute.
What is your plan moving forward?
We should speak in private, Commander. The rest of you are dismissed. Despite our victory, I find that the Dark Council is best used for administrative purposes, and not to conducting critical wartime activities. The Empire needs an organization capable of rapid, decisive action, operating outside the Dark Council's purview. A group answering directly to me. My predecessor had such a group, the Hand, though, as you know, its members were insane fanatics. I will construct my own Hand, formed of the Empire's best and most loyal frontline personnel. My first choice would be to recruit the Hand's initial ranks from your alliance, to have Odessan officially join the Empire and your members become full citizens. In fact, I would have you take up the mantle of Empire's Wrath and lead this organization in destroying all who challenge us. Of course, you may forego all of this and maintain your alliance's independence if you choose. I would still have you working directly with my Hand, rather than the Dark Council. The choice is yours. Will you return to the Empire, or remain the Alliance commander?
Yeah, I was about to say, deja vu? Several times over, if I'm keeping track properly here. But I would rather slit my own throat and then drown in my own blood than join the Empire.
I've worked hard to build my alliance. I want to keep it as it is.
So be it, Commander. I had hoped that Malgus might act as our liaison going forward, but in his absence, I will find another suitable candidate. We will contact you very soon, Commander. For now, farewell.
If you're wondering why this feels conclusory, this is the end of Onslaught Vanilla. The next content we'll be doing will be patch content.
They minimized the damage this time. But what about the next time?
I can't see the future, Theron. Well, not often, at any rate.
Not exactly reassuring. But I'll admit, could have been a lot worse. I said I'd give him a shot, so I'll give him a shot.
I confess, being fully funded by the Empire might have made our daily operations easier. But I have no qualms with our current arrangement.
I'm glad we're keeping some distance personally.
I'm told there's quite a raucous party up in the officers' lounge. Would you care to be the star guest?
Sounds like fun. Let's go.
It's just this way.
Hey, thanks again for finding me that bottle.
Of course. If you need anyone to share it...
Count on it. Mind if I borrow her a minute?
We can catch up later.
Oh god, do we have a warrior shuffle?
Pretty crazy stuff, huh? Ossus wasn't even that long ago. We've already made it through so much. That's war, I suppose. Still, most grunts aren't lucky enough to work with the deadliest fighter in the entire galaxy. Which reminds me, too bad you didn't join the bet. You'd have won for sure.
How about that time alone we were talking about?
Gonna have to wait, I'm afraid. I actually came to talk about something else. Back on Corellian, I didn't actually make it out with the rest of the shuttles. Got caught under some falling debris and all the chaos. I wouldn't have made it out at all if they hadn't lent me a hand.
Who?
Your predecessor.
You're the one who tried to kill me on Mek-Sha.
Don't take it personally.
It was a test. Nothing more.
A test you actually passed.
What are you talking about?
I am Lord Scourge, once a loyal servant of the Empire.
Kira Carson, Jedi Knight. Not thrilled to be here.
All three of us have fought the same enemy. The former Sith Emperor, Tenebrae, Vitiate, Valkorian, whatever you wish to call him. We know he was once a part of you. And we both felt his destruction, but he has always been a master of deceit. We had to be sure that he wasn't lingering in your mind, hidden, waiting to come out only in the most dire circumstances. Now, we are sure.
I was about to flip. I was... Oh my god. I was about to frickety flip.
If you were testing me, it must have been for a reason. A serious one to bring a Jedi here.
Strange as it might sound, we think you might be the only one who can help us.
We can't risk saying more here. Let's travel to your base on Odessan. It should be safe for us to talk there.
About what?
The final, gruesome weapon of Tenebrae.
Oh no. What did he leave behind? Is it like his memoirs or something? And they're so badly written that anybody who reads them, it's like poison to them. Well, that's okay.
What a mess.
I have removed all compromised components. Where shall we begin repairs?
Checking the failsafe is always first. Empress Asina had us double the explosive charges after the Ossus mission. It was a real pain to hook up.
Yes, I examined the device after removing it. Highly complex.
You removed it? What are you thinking?
It was rendered inoperable due to damage. Replacement is required. Interestingly, it was the only damage not caused by crushing impacts. The exterior perimeter was actually cut by a high-heat implement.
Oh no.
Give me the droid. And a ship.
Okay. That's actually amusing. What? Huh? Is this... Alright, so let me explain why he killed his wife, because he asked that in the middle of the cutscene, Magister. It's actually really simple. He loved his wife, dearly and devotedly, right? So, someone, I don't even remember his damn name, was playing politics and threatened his wife in order to control Malgus. So Malgus realized that his wife was a weak spot, something that his enemies could use against him. So he killed her. You like how we got just the random noise of the station here, by the way? So, hey look! Set items! I think. Does not apply above level 75. Hey look! Total worthlessness! Interesting. Where is this? It's on Alliance Operations. I'll hold on to it. Why not? Yeah, no, he legitimately loved his wife. That's part of the messed up part of the whole thing. He was more loyal to the Sith ideology than he was to her. Also, the fact that they were that Malgus is Vader. Let's just be honest about that. He's Vader. They wanted to have a Vader, so they made Malgus. I think we'll cut off a little bit early, rather than start the next thing. Because the next thing is to go talk with Kira and Scourge. And what do you want to bet? Like, is this going to be terrible? Cool. Like, there's a lot of possibilities here. So let me update the HUD. Let me update the HUD. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I mean, it's totally going to be a new super weapon. What do you want to bet? There we go. That's where we're at right now. See you around, Dark Day. You're more than welcome. We stream 8 hours a day, 6 days a week right now. So you're more than welcome to rejoin us. Otherwise, I hope you have a good day. And I'll see the rest of you after the lunch break.